After sweeping a doubleheader against the Torrington Twisters and sweeping the season series 6-0 over the Torrington Twisters on Saturday, an off day yesterday for the Newport Gulls has brought them back here to Cardines Field for a 7-day homestand and the final few games of the Southern Division's regular season for Newport. 2 games tonight, 1 tomorrow, and then the season finale on Thursday against the first place in the NACBO South Pittsfield Dukes. Will wrap up the regular season for the Newport Gulls before the playoffs begin. Game 1 of the NACBL postseason will be here at Cardines Field on Saturday night. Against who, though? That's still to be determined. Good evening, everyone. I'm Nick Lehmer here at Cardines Field, actually this afternoon, as we get set for doubleheader baseball action. A day-night split doubleheader coming your way next. Game 1 against the Lowell All-Americans as we finish a game that was delayed by rain 4 nights ago here at Cardines Field. Newport Gulls will begin the game down 1-0 in the second inning. Game 2 against the Southern Division's Manchester Silkworms, who are currently in the fight for that 4th playoff spot with the Torrington Twisters right now in the NACBL South. Newport Gulls baseball is next. Pre-game show coming your way on the NACBL Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to the Gulls Eye View on the Newport Gulls pregame show. I'm John Raiola, joined today by Cody Grisham, who is back with the Newport Gulls for the second time this season. And Cody, you left for school. Talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah, I had some schoolwork I had to take care of. I had to take a class, get everything settled so that I could get back in school on time. And everything's set now. I'm ready to play ball the rest of the summer.
Well, now you're back, and the Gulls will have their second doubleheader in 3 days. You guys have won 6 of your last 7, including a sweep, which you were at. You were there for the sweep against Torrington. Now a game and a half back of Pittsfield in the Southern Division. Talk about how important these 2 games are today.
Well, like you said, we're 6 out of the last 7. We're getting hot at the end of the year, and it's the right time to get hot, I guess, going into the playoffs. So hopefully we're going to take 2 and end up sitting well going into the playoffs.
And now 5 games in your last 4 days. Obviously you weren't here for all of those, but have you gotten a sense of what the feeling is amongst the players about the fact that the season is winding down and possibly guys banged up, a little tired, and now you have all these games going into the playoffs?
Yeah, I've talked to everybody. Everybody seems to have a good attitude about it. Everybody's ready to go, want to go as far as we can. We want to win this thing. So.
And how are you game shape-wise? Not, at least being here for the Gulls, were you working out, playing still while you were back home?
Yeah, I was doing some work back home, hitting, working out and everything. So I'm in good shape. It's just trying to get back in the rhythm of the gameplay. I haven't played any games being at home.
And how do you feel going up against Lowell today? And then you'll be playing Manchester in Game 2. Both those guys below you in the Southern Division. Do you guys see this as a big opportunity to take 2 more games and sweep another doubleheader?
Yeah, it's a big day for us. It's going to be a long day, but I think everybody's ready to go. We got a little rest in between, so in between the 2 games, so we're going to be fresh and ready to go.
All right, thank you, Cody. That's it for this edition of the Gulls Eye View. Stay tuned as we continue on the Newport Gulls pregame show.
Welcome back here at Cardines Field. Now time for our coach's report here in Game 1 of this doubleheader, joined for this first game by Newport Gulls pitching coach Scott Virgilak. Coach, how are you?
Good, Nick. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. The Newport Gulls enjoyed an off day yesterday, their first true off day in quite a long time.
Yeah, much needed off day. I know I was dragging a little bit, and I'm just, coach, I'm not out there playing every day. So much needed off day. Good week here. We're home all week, couple off days mixed in. So, right now we're looking towards the playoffs and getting things rolling going into there.
So, Coach, Newport Gulls have a long day of baseball here today. Summer camp this morning, at least an 8-inning game or so against Lowell, and then a full 9-inning contest against Manchester later on tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long day. We did it once earlier in the year, and thankfully we won 2 games. We're faced with it again today. So. Hopefully our guys come out, with a lot of energy to start with, and if they do, we should be all right.
Newport Gulls went 2-1 on the road trip. Were shut out for the first time all season long against the North Adams Steeplecats. A real loss to North Adams on Friday night at Joe O Field.
Yeah, their guy threw a good game. The Boyce kid, he's one of the better pitchers we faced. Even that being said, we had plenty of opportunities to score some runs. I know, after the game, their coach didn't think it was a 5-0 ball game. It felt a lot closer than that because, like I said, we had plenty of opportunities and just didn't capitalize, with runners on.
Newport Gulls traveled to Torrington on Saturday to sweep a doubleheader and sweep the season series of the Torrington Twisters. We've seen a lot of close games between these 2 teams, including this season, more so in past seasons. This year, Torrington really just didn't have it.
Yeah, they were down this year. There's no question about it. But that's not our problem. We're whoever we're going to play against, we're there to win. So there's nothing we can do about that. But it was just good to play well and come out with 2 W's before yesterday's off day.
2 errorless ball games, including a near-perfect game for Steven Peterson. Only allowed 3 hits in the 6th inning and a walk in that ball game, going 6 innings strong. Dan Mahoney came in to pick up the save. Game 2, Jeff Brown in his first start of the season was outstanding through 6 innings. Only allowed 3 base runners the entire ball game on a hit, a walk, and a pass ball after a strikeout. And then Robert Morey came in to close that one out as well. It wasn't a save situation, but got an inning of work.
Yeah, it was a great day for our guys on the mound. They both Petey and Brown did a great job. They came in, they threw strikes, they pounded the zone, they went after hitters, and as a defender behind them, that's that keeps you on your toes and keeps you in the game, and that's what we're looking for today as well.
Chase Reed started this game against the Lowell All-Americans about 4 nights ago, and we'll be picking up the action where we left off in the 2nd inning. A 1-0 score, Lowell on top, but the Gulls had the bases loaded with 2 outs and a 2-0 pitch on Taylor Mee, and that's an interesting way to start a ball game.
It's not bases loaded.
Oh, a couple of runners on, I think?
Man on first, 2 outs. It's pretty much we're playing a 7-inning game. We're down 1-0. That's the way we're going to look at it. All the confidence we're on Chase will go out there and keep them at bay, and hopefully we can get to their guy and pull out a W.
Will this be a 9-inning game?
Yes, this is a 9-inning game, but we've already played. We're in the bottom of the 2nd, so it's pretty much like a 7-inning game. And we're, like I said, we're down 1-0. So we have to come out early and put some runs up on the board, and hopefully things will go our way.
It was a bit of an odd start to this one before the rain came and shut everything down in the lightning storm last week. Home plate umpire Pat Harrington had some difficulties himself. He wasn't feeling well. I don't know if it was dehydration or if he was just feeling exhausted.
Yeah, right from the get-go, I was saying in the dugout, it just wasn't meant to be that night. As soon as both teams finished batting practice, the skies opened up, it rained, and then we worked on the field for a while. Luckily, we started right on time, and then we had the umpire go down and had a half-hour delay, and then we get back out there, and 15 minutes later, it starts to rain again. So it just wasn't meant to be. We're here today, both the same pitchers on the mound, and we'll go play baseball.
Matt Fontaine, let's get the start here today for Lowell. He started the game a few nights ago. Walked the first 3 batters he faced, but then came back to strike out the next 3. Like Chase Reed, he's a real powerful strikeout pitcher. He's been consistently in the league leaders in strikeouts all season.
Yeah, I know Matt real well. Matt's a fellow Rhode Islander. We recruited him at Rhode Island College. We went to Eastern Connecticut, who's in our conference, and he's done a great job stepping up this year for them over at Eastern. Was a weekend starter as a sophomore. Big kid, pretty hard thrower. We'll get a little out of the zone, and our hitters got to do a good job of, laying off pitches outside the strike zone, but yet still being aggressive when they get in hitting counts, with balls around the plate, because he will throw strikes.
What are we going to see starting in Game 2 for Newport?
Game 2, we just had a switch. Jared Prince was supposed to go. He's still not 100% from getting hit in the head, so we'll scratch him. More worried about him, getting him ready for the playoffs, and Tom Costin with the ball game too. Tom's was a starter for us early on, then came out of the pen, and we have all the confidence in the world that he's going to go out and give us a shot to win.
Finally, Coach, offensively, the Newport Gulls were doing outstanding. They were leading the league with a .295 batting average. We're averaging 14, 15 hits a game for about 5 or 6 games straight. Then the last few games, things have slowed down. They've only averaged about 5 hits a game. Is that just because the bats have slowed down, or is that just facing different pitching?
One, it was the pitching. We faced the Boys kid up in North Adams. Like I said, he's the real deal, and he's a very good pitcher. And you got to don't forget those Torrington games were 7-inning games, so we had two less innings there. But we hit early on and got up in the game, and then it was just a matter of playing defense and having our pitching hold up, and but we'll be all right. We swing the bats. This is one of the better hitting teams in the 3 years I've been here, top through through the bottom of the order. We'll swing the bats, and we'll give ourselves a shot to win a game.
No, you had limited time today in between getting here and the start of this game. Thank you for joining us here in the pregame show, and good luck in today's doubleheader, Coach.
No problem. Thank you.
That's our pregame visit with the Newport Gulls coaching staff. Newport Gulls baseball is next on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And good evening once again here from Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. Nick Lima joined by John Rayler today on the NACPL Broadcast Network. Doubleheader baseball coming your way next. Game 1 of this day-night split doubleheader against the Lowell All-Americans will be picking up in the middle of the rainout from July 23rd. Lowell Americans a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the second inning. Newport Gulls batting. Same starters for this game, Chase Reed against Matt Fontaine. The rotations have cycled around for both teams to that point. Newport Gulls coming off an off day in a 2-game sweep and a season series sweep of the Torrington Twisters on Saturday, as the Gulls took a doubleheader there, 4-1 in the first game and a 5-0 score in Game 2. The Lowell All-Americans, who did not play last night, an off day yesterday, coming into this game fresh as well. So both teams getting set for an early afternoon doubleheader. John Rayola looking forward to a good contest here tonight between these two teams. The Newport Gulls fighting for the that first place playoff spot, now just a game and a half back of the Pittsfield Dukes.
Yeah, and Lowell comes into today 14 and 22, and it's a good opportunity for the Gulls. They're trailing obviously 1-0 in the bottom of the second inning, but good opportunity to pick up the first game. They just swept Torrington, as you said. This will be their fifth game in 4 days, so as we're winding down, everyone's kind of banged up a little bit, and hopefully they can play some good baseball here today, take a couple games, as they're a game and a half back of Pittsfield. So certainly the season is not over, and every game matters, especially at this point.
And things will get more interesting later on today, depending on how this one unfolds, when the Newport Gulls face the Manchester Silkworms in Game 2 later on tonight.
And Manchester's a pretty good team, 15 and 22. We've seen them a little bit, have some pretty good starting pitching, and that's why this first game is so important for the Gulls. Get this one out of the way, at least earn yourself a split in the doubleheader, and they've won 6 of their last 7. I would give them 7 of 8. And that's what you want to do. If nothing else, if it's not going to matter in the standings, at least be playing good baseball going into the playoffs and try to carry that over. We've seen that really in any sport, in every level. Teams that are playing the best when they get into the playoffs are the teams that really, usually go the farthest. So hopefully the Gulls can continue their hot ways and carry that right into the playoffs.
Don't go away, folks. We'll come back and give you a roundup of how this game unfolded and began on July 23rd when we come back next. And the pregame show continues on the ACBL Broadcast Network. Well, the game began last week here at Cardines Field on July 23rd. In the top of the first inning, Chase Reed came out to start the game, of course, a winner of his last 3 consecutive starts. Reed, the owner of the all-time NACBL record for strikeouts in a ballgame at 19, which came on July 4th. Reed would face Steve Daniels, allow a leadoff single to him. Then he fanned Pat McKenna swinging. Fielder's choice 4-6 for Nick Pecora put Kevin Rivers at the plate. He singled, and he was followed by Tony Plagman RBI single that drove in Daniels, who scored the only run of the ball game. Reed then walked Mike Belageron, so the All-Americans had the bases loaded, 1 run in, and 2 outs for Chris Rouches. Rouches would strike out on a 1-2 pitch. That ended the first inning and the threat for the All-Americans, so left them loaded. Then we went to the last of the first, and we saw a similar situation. Taylor Meehan earned a leadoff walk. Mike Melillo walked, and then Mike Timson walked on a 3-2, a 3-1, and a 3-2 pitch in that order. Kyle Conley then struck out on a 2-2 pitch as he swung through it from Matt Fontaine, who had to start for the Lowell All-Americans. At the time, he was 3rd in the league in strikeouts. Now he's dropped down a place or 2 in that statistic. Fontaine would then pitch to Ryan Wiegand, and at this point we had a delay in the game, as the home plate umpire, Pat Harrington, wasn't feeling well. He had some exhaustion and dehydration problems, so the game was delayed at that point. He took himself out of the game at 7:01. The trainer advised him to seek some medical attention. And we had a 20-minute delay. We resumed at 7:21 after starting the delay at 7:01. Ryan Wiegand then struck out looking on a 3-2 pitch with a new umpire in the ballgame. Jack Murphy would strike out swinging to end the inning, so after walking the bases loaded, Fontaine struck out the side, and the Gulls left them loaded in the first. We head to the top of the second inning, and Chase Reed still had some struggles. A single for Alex DeValle, and a leading off the inning. Chris Jensen struck out looking. At that point, 1 out, 1 on for Steve Daniels. He singled, and Pat McKenna singled, but he was thrown out at the plate. Alex DeValle was thrown out the plate on a great throw by Newport Gull center fielder Joey Manning, who just fired an absolute bullet and got him by plenty at home. So DeValle was thrown off the plate. That put 2 runners on and 2 outs for Nick Pecora. Pecora bounced out 6-3 to end the inning. We went to the last of the second. At this point, folks, we were watching the radar intently. Some heavy thunderstorms have been skipping by us all day. The entire state had been inundated at that point. The rest of the league was already rained out. But we were still playing at Cardines Field until Nick Cinnamaro grounded out 4-3. Joey Manning struck out on a 3-2 pitch. And then Kenny Socorro walked on a 3-1. That put runner at first for Taylor Meehan. He saw 2 pitches, both of them balls. As the rain began just absolutely pour, it inundated Cardines Field. The field very quickly became unplayable. Lightning came. The players all ran for cover. The fans ran for cover. And as the lightning came in, it actually hit one of the light towers. We lost half of our lights here at Cardines Field. Not the actual towers, but about 3 or 4 lights with each individual tower went out, which was kind of odd. We've never seen that happen before. So even if they were to get the field playable after that thunderstorm came through, we still would not have been able to resume play because there wasn't enough lighting on the field at that point. So the game was called at 8:25, about 20 minutes after the rain delay began. And so with Taylor Meehan at the plate, 2 outs, a 1-0 score, Newport behind Lowell, and a 2-0 count on Taylor Meehan. That is where we'll resume when we come back in a few minutes. First, we'll have the starting lineups next on the NCBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field with the starting lineups for today's ball game. First, for the Lowell All-Americans, nothing has changed from Game 1. We'll see Steve Daniels, the leadoff man, start in center field. Batting second, Pat McKenna, the shortstop. In the third spot is Nick Pecora, the third baseman. Kevin Rivers bats cleanup. He starts in right field. First baseman Tony Plagman bats fifth. In the sixth spot is Michael Belageron, the designated hitter. Chris Rouches bats in the seventh spot in left field. In the eighth hole, it's Alex DeValle, the second baseman. Chris Jensen catches and rounds out the order for the All-Americans, who will be facing Chase Reed on the mound for Newport. Again, he also started the game back on July 23rd before this game was postponed. Matt Fontaine gets the start for the Lowell All-Americans. We'll tell you more about him in a few moments, but first the starting lineups for the Newport Gulls. Here again, John Raiola.
For the Newport Gulls, only one change. We'll get to that in a minute. First, Taylor Meehan leads off and plays second base. Mike Melillo bats second. He's the DH. Mike Tamsin bats third and plays third. Kyle Conley is the cleanup hitter playing left field. Ryan Wiegand bats fifth, plays first base. Jack Murphy hits sixth and is behind the plate. Nick Santamaro will hit seventh and play right field. Joey Manning back in center field. Nick, you talked about the strong arm from Joey Manning playing center field. He'll hit eighth. And one change, Kenny Socorro is not here today. Cody Grisham, just back for the Newport Gulls, will play shortstop and hit ninth in place of Socorro. He'll be on first base when we begin things in the bottom of the second inning with 2 outs. So
we will have a different umpiring crew for today's ball game. It began with Pat Harrington and Tony Yasande. Of course, Pat Harrington had to leave he was under the weather. But Brian Troop will be the home plate umpire, calling balls and strikes. Richard Emerson will be the field umpire. Game time temperatures around 74 degrees under calm conditions. Hardly a gust of wind at all here at Cardines Field. Under sunny skies, no clouds in sight as well. So a beautiful afternoon for baseball here for Game 1. After we've seen a lot of rain and thunderstorms the last few days. Very unsettled weather lately. And we're happy to see some clear skies here today. And the NECBL is as well with all the rainouts in recent days. Some packed schedules for a lot of teams. The Newport Gulls will have it relatively easy this week, though. Doubleheader today at home, a home game tomorrow, off Wednesday, home for the season finale on Thursday before the playoffs begin here at Cardines on Saturday. We'll have the first pitch next when we come back on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here to Cardines Field in Newport Island. Nick Lima joined by John Raiola here on the NCBL Broadcast Network. We get set for baseball. We'll be in the last half of the second inning with 2 outs, a runner at first, a 1-0 score. Lowell on top of Newport as Chase Reed will be pitching for the Newport Gulls. Matt Fontaine pitching for the Lowell All-Americans. We'll set the defense for you for Lowell. Fontaine on the mound. Chris Jensen, the catcher. Tony Plagman starts at first base. Alex Zavali at second. Pat McKenna, the shortstop. Nick Pecora at third. Outfield from left to right is Chris Rouches, Steve Daniels, and Kevin Rivers. And Brian Troop calling balls and strikes for this game. Richard Emerson, the base umpire. Hardly a fan in attendance here today. This game, of course, not on the schedule. It was just announced that it would be made up today a couple days ago. Of course, we scrambled to make sure that we could be here to cover this game for you. And we'll resume in just a moment as we await the Lowell Americans to take the field here.
And you don't see that very often, waiting for the opposing team to take the field. And you mentioned the weather, 74 degrees, not a cloud in the sky that I can see. And you look at, I know I talked to you last night, what, about 8 o'clock? Torrential downpours. That was coming from up north, coming back down towards Newport. Downpouring like I've never seen before. I didn't think there was any way that this field would be in shape to play. And when we got here, it really didn't look like it would be. Jack Murphy was out there. I think, I don't remember who else I saw out there. But guys working hard to get the field in shape. The grounds crew did a great job. Mowed the lawn, threw down some dry dirt there to cover up some puddles, and field doesn't actually look too bad.
I've actually got a nice little circular pattern in the grass.
I watched that happen. It was a good job by the lawnmower man. So he hopped on and gave it a nice trim. The infield dirt looks pretty good. I mean, obviously, we've seen it better, but like I said before, I know it was raining here all afternoon. It was raining big time up north, and I didn't think there was any way, especially the fact that this was an afternoon game. You could see possibly a night game. Having the sun all day beat down on the field, dry up some puddles. You could see the night game happening, but we just did a great job getting the field, ready to play, and here we are as Fontaine's warming up, and we're about to play.
Matt Fontaine gets the start for the All-Americans. Right-hander out of Eastern Connecticut State University, a Cranston, Rhode Island native. And of course, the Newport Gulls began in Cranston. I'm a Cranston native myself, as a couple of fans and staff members around us also raise their hands and say, "Oh, 3 cheers for Cranston." Fontaine finished up his sophomore season at Eastern Connecticut State, a 3.40 ERA, 1-4, 9 appearances on the season, has started 6 games, 1 complete game to his credit. He's worked 39 2/3 innings, allowing 34 hits, 21 runs, 15 in the Maroon. He's walked 14, struck out 46, one of the league leaguers in strikeouts. Already has 4 Ks in this ball game, and just has 1 out left to get here in the second inning as we get set to get back underway and resume the game from July 23rd. Fontaine, the right-hander, toes the rubber from the first base side, looks in, gets the signs from his catcher Jensen. From the stretch, a runner at first, the 2-0 pitch to Taylor Meehan. Up and away, ball 3, and we're back underway. The longest rain delay in recorded history. 5 days, 3 hours, 60 minutes. Here's a 3-0 pitch. It's a fastball in there for a strike. Taylor Meehan, that's 283, no homers, 12 runs batted in. His average has fallen somewhat since the last game. Stands in from the left side. 3-1 delivery coming. Fastball's in there for a strike. The count's worked full. Matt Fontaine, one of many Rhode Island natives on the Lowell All-Americans. If they're not Rhode Island natives, they hail from Rhode Island institutions of higher education. Payoff pitch, a runner goes. Taking low, ball 4. No stolen base for Cody Grisham as Taylor Meehan picks up a 2-out walk. That put runners at first and second for Mike Malillo in the tying run in scoring position now.
Obviously, this is an understatement, but this has to be such a weird feeling for the players. Especially you think about Fontaine. He goes out there, throws 2 balls and 2 strikes, and now all of a sudden there are guys on first and second, a runner in scoring position. You're in a 1-0 game. Obviously, here at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you're not really in the flow like you would be normally.
First pitch to Malillo is outside, ball 1. Throw to first is a little bit wide to the right of the bag. Brought in by Plagman, but couldn't get Taylor Meehan. Meehan has picked up a couple of stolen bases. Now 4 for 4 in the season, second on the team behind Carroll Road. Newport Gulls stole 8 bags in Torrington on Saturday. Must be a team record. This is not typically a base-stealing team. 1-0 pitch, up and away, ball 2. Road picked up 3 stolen bases. Sanamaro had his first of the season. Meehan had one. Brief conference on the mound between the catcher Chris Jensen and Fontaine. Runners at first and second here. 2 balls, no strikes to count. On Malillo, comes in batting .324, a pair of homers. He's driven in 24. From the stretch, Fontaine checks the runner and fires. Swinging a drive, pulled down into right center field, going over Steve Daniels. Is going to drop in for a base hit. Rounding third, being waved home is Grisham. He scores, and the Newport Gulls have tied it up quickly here in the second inning. It's 1-1. It's an RBI single for Mike Melillo. He drives in his 25th run of the season, and we have a new ball game quickly here in the second inning. So now the Newport Gulls have a chance to take their first lead as the league's hottest hitter and Mike Timpson steps up. Timpson bats on the left side. The runners at first and third here, and 2 away. Nice 2-out hitting from Mike Melillo. Matt Fontaine has to be careful dealing with Timpson. He walked his last time in this ball game. That was 5 days ago. The pitch, swinging a drive, pulled down the left field line. Chris Roush is going back in front of the wall. He makes the catch for the out that retires the side. Timpson, his jam pulled it right to him. And Gulls trying a pair of runners on, but get the tying run across. We're through 2 innings of baseball, even though we've only played for a couple minutes here this afternoon at Cardines Field. Newport Gulls 1, Lowell Americans 1 on the NACBL Broadcast Network. Well, it's not every day that the Newport Gulls get the beginning game at Cardines Field batting. Now Chase Reed throws his warm-up tosses as we get underway defensively for Newport here in the third. And resuming a game that was delayed in the bottom of the second back on July 23rd by rain. Defensive alignment for the Newport Gulls as we head to the top of the third inning. Ryan Wiegans at first base. Taylor Mean at second. Cody Grisham, the shortstop, in for Kenny Socorro, who is not with the team this week. Mike Timms in the third baseman. Jack Murphy catches Chase Reed, your battery. Outfield from left to right is Kyle Connolly, Joey Manning, and Nick Santamaro. Carroll Road had the night off in this game, and will have tonight off as well, at least for the moment. Likely, whatever players are playing in this game, we will have let me restart that, folks. Whatever players aren't playing in this game will play in the doubleheader, game 2 of this doubleheader later on tonight. A long day of baseball for these players. Summer camp this morning. They got to Cardines Field just about an hour ago. No batting practice, no infield and outfield. Just suited it up, took the field, and we're back underway. Kevin Rivers will lead things off for the Lowell All-Americans. Score tied at 1 now. Reed from the stretch fires. It's in there for a strikeout. He's actually from the windup. Strike 1 on Rivers, who singled his last time on a 3-2 pitch offered by Reed. The next delivery. Fastball is ripped in the left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Kevin Rivers is 2 for 2 in this ball game. And for the third time tonight, third time this afternoon, including 5 nights ago. This is tough to do, folks. Chase Reed has allowed a leadoff single. So Tony Plagman, who drove in the All-Americans only run of the ball game, will bat here. Plagman 1 for 1. Comes in batting .339, 3 homers, 11 RBI. Of course, the stats are updated. His first pitch to him. Fastball outside corner, a called strike. Chase Reed now allowed 7 hits in this ball game and a walk. Pitch, curve, breaks a little bit too far inside, ball 1. 1-1 the count on Plagman. Tony, the first baseman for Lowell. Beautiful afternoon for baseball. Wish you could play every game in conditions like this. So the Torrington Twisters, who've had 14 rainouts. Maybe the most in league history. Torrington had another rainout actually last night. They've had 15 rainouts. The 1-1 pitch skips in there, gets away from catcher Murphy, but doesn't roll very far. Chase Reed is trying to complete here his 4th start of the season. He's 3-0 in his previous starts. 7 overall appearances. 1 complete game. It was that 19 strikeout game. Set an NECBL all-time record on July 4th here at Cardines Field against the Torrington Twisters. He has 2 saves in the season. He's worked 30 in the third innings. 2-1 pitch, a check on the runner at first. Diving in safely is Kevin Rivers. Plus the Newport Gulls as a team lead the NECBL and runners picked off. Rivers 1 for 2 in stolen bases this season. Reed drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers in 2007. Here's a ground ball bounce right back to the mound. Reed knocks it down, throws the first in time. A good play. Reed recovered quickly. You get the 1-3 ground out as it was hit right back at him. Couldn't quite handle it, bounced to his right, but he recovered quickly to retire Plagman. There's one out now. Kevin Rivers advanced to second on the play for Michael Balageron. Balageron walked on 4 pitches, a very rare walk for Chase Reed in the first inning of this ball game 5 days ago. Reed out just his 5th walk of the season with the walk to Balageron. Now time called. Murphy wants to have a quick word with his pitcher. On the season now, factoring in this game, Reed has 48 strikeouts to 5 walks. He's allowed a double, 3 homers, 2 wild pitches. He hasn't hit any batters yet this season. Pitch, fastball on the outside corner, called strike. Opponent's hitting 209 off of Reed coming into this one, but there's a lot of singles in this ball game. Runner at second is the go-ahead run for Lowell. A 1-1 ball game. We're here in the third. 1 out. The 0-1 pitch. Reed sets and throws. Swinging a high pop-up right side and out of play. Reed's previous starts, July 16th versus North Adams, he went 7 strong innings, allowing 6 hits, 2 earned runs, a walk, and 8 Ks. From the stretch, the 0-2. Outside with a breaking ball, 1-2. Sort of features a slider, curve, or slurve, not really a defined curveball or slider. 1-2 pitch. Skips in there, good stop by Murphy, ball 2. Well, if you ask him, he won't call it a slurve, but he won't call it a curveball or a slider either.
And one thing that we saw from him, you mentioned that 19 strikeout game. Every time he was ahead in the count 0-2, 1-2, and he always went to that slider, or curveball, whatever you want to call it. And right now here he was at 0-2, and he's thrown 2 in a row in the dirt.
2-2 pitches, looped through the left side. It's going to be a backhand stab by Grisham. He doesn't have a play. He kept that one from going in the outfield, but it was well beyond his range to turn a play. Holding up at second, however, is Kevin Rivers. So he does keep that runner from advancing any further.
Yeah, it was a nice play by Cody Grisham for that exact reason. You know, right off the bat, you know, specifically because Grisham's playing a little bit up the middle, more concerned with Kevin Rivers at second, keeping him close. That was going to be a base hit off the bat. He did a good job of keeping it on infield and not allowing Rivers to advance over to third base.
Chris Roushers takes the first pitch, fastball outside, ball 1. Roushers a strikeout victim as last time. 2 runners on here, just 1 out. We're here in the third, a 1-1 ball game. Chase Reed gets the signs from Murphy. Comes to the stretch at the belt. The 1-0. Breaking ball is swung on and miss. Strike 1. The count's even on Chris. Reed picked up a win on the road against the Keene Swamp Bats back on July 10th. Worked 7 innings, allowing 2 earned runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. Very similar to his July 16th outing against North Adams. 1-1 pitches swung on and miss, and the count's 1-2 on Chris. Roushers comes in at just 169. No home runs, 9 RBI. Drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers in the 2007 Major League Baseball first-year player draft, 42nd round. 1-2 the count, and he's ahead of Roushers from the stretch. Ball pitch instead, time is called. Roushers steps out. His only other start, of course, here on July 4th. Went the distance, complete game. 4-hitter. 19 strikeouts in that one, actually a 5-hitter. It's the pitch, check swing. He went around for strike 3. There's the 4th strikeout of the night for Chase Reed. 4 Ks now, 2 outs here in the third with 2 on for Alex DeValle. DeValle singled his last time, lead off the second, was thrown out at the plate. Brief conference on the mound. DeValle has seen his average rise about 5 points since this game began. Batting 162 now, no homers, 7 RBI. From the stretch, Reed. Check on the run of the pitch. Breaking ball crosses the plate for strike 1. This game was rain out. It was the 3rd consecutive rain out for Lowell. 0-1 pitch, just misses outside. Newport Gulls had a rain out the day after this game was rained out against the Torrington Twisters. Made that up in the doubleheader on Saturday. 1-1 pitch coming from Reed. Swing and a miss, strike two, big cut. Another breaking ball from Reed that time. So that rain out on Thursday for Newport was a rain out of a rain out.
Those are always fun.
It was pouring all day Thursday. 1-2 delivery. Curve just missed up and away. And that counts even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jensen to follow. Runners at first and second. Reed trying to keep him there. 2 down. 2-2 the count. Reed sets, kicks and deals. Swing a ground ball, weakly hit, third base side. Timms in field, throws to first in time for the out that retires the side. The All-American straight up here, they've already left 7. We are through 2.5 from Cardanes Field. Newport Gulls 1, Lowell Americans 1 on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back here now at Cardanes Field, we go to the last of the third inning. Newport Gulls will send 4, 5, and 6 through up to face Matt Fontaine. Kyle Conley, Ryan Wiegand, Jack Murphy, a lot of power here in the middle of the lineup today for the Gulls. Conley struck out his first time in this ball game. Has had an absolutely incredible July. All 7 of his home runs have been hit here in the 7th month of the year. Conley, 7 homers, 34 runs batted in, is 3rd in the league in RBI, tied for 2nd in home runs. Also the league leader in those 2 categories, Alex Gregory, had this game off and of course not in the lineup right now. He will play in game 2. First pitch of Conley is on the inside corner, a called strike from Fontaine. A 1-1 ball game. We're tied here in the 3rd. Conley comes in batting .278. His average has continued to climb. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball just outside as Jensen tried to frame it. 1-1 the count. Matt Fontaine, a Cranston, Rhode Island native. The Newport Gulls were based in Cranston, founded there in 1999. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Chased a high fastball and counts 1-2. Newport Gulls moved to Newport in 2001 from Cranston. They played at Cranston Stadium. I don't know if Matt ever made it to a Gulls game as a youngster. 1-2 delivery. Swung on, foul, tipped as he chased another high heater. Good defensive swing that time from Conley. Knocks our backstop camera out of position. Well, that's always good news instead of a long day. 1-2 the count here on Kyle. Wind up the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Number 5 in the ball game for Matt Fontaine. Now it's 51 on the season. Should be pretty close to the league lead. I'll check it for you. That will give Matt Fontaine the NECBL lead in strikeouts. Here's pitch to Ryan Wiegand. It's low and away, ball 1. Actually, that'll put him 3rd in the league. 3rd in the league behind Rob Gariano of Holyoke, who has 55. Next pitch is on the outside corner. Counts even at 1-1 to the goal first baseman. Strikeout victim against Fontaine earlier in this ball game. That's .241, a pair of homers, 14 RBI. A 1-1 delivery. Swing a ground ball, chopped softly to the backstop, foul. Down the count 1-2.
Number 1 on that list, Nick, Tim Boyce, pitches at URI, has 65 strikeouts, also leads the league in wins. Pitched very well against the Gulls at North Adams over, I believe that was on Friday. And is not a starter at URI. Is not a starting pitcher. Comes out of the bullpen, closes games for them. I was shocked to see him among the league leaders in strikeouts and wins as a starter.
1-2 pitches up and away, ball 2. Yeah, he's been the number 1 starter for North Adams. Newport Gulls were shut out for the first and only time all season. Friday night, 5-0 against the Steeple Cats. Gulls have won 2 straight now, though. 2-2 delivery. Swing a drive, pulled down the left field line, is going to get out of play. As giving chase to left fielder Chris Rouches. And it's beyond the bullpen. 1 out, bases empty. A tied ball game here in the third. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count on Ryan Wiegand. He was at the plate when home plate umpire Pat Harrington in the first iteration of this game went down at 7:01 p.m. Forced a 20-minute delay. So umpires had to switch gear. The 2-2 pitch swung on. This one's lifted in the air to the left side. In comes the left fielder Rouches, ranging over to his right, makes a catch, and there's 2 out. Three straight set down now by Matt Fontaine. We'll see Jack Murphy, also a strikeout victim as last time. Murphy comes in batting .333, 3 homers, 19 RBI. Murphy was also batting .333, 3 homers, 19 RBI when this game began. So things haven't changed much for Jack. First pitch to him from the left side. He takes a fastball low and away, ball 1. At Fontaine, again, a Cranston, Rhode Island native, pitching against Rhode Island's only entry into the NECBL, the Newport Gulls. So there are other NECBL Rhode Island teams in past seasons. The 1-0. Swung on, fouled off the screen, carries right back to home plate. 1-1 the count.
I always knew that, or thought that there were other Rhode Island teams, and then this being my first year, I was surprised to see that it seems that on the road trips I've gone on, the closest team is about 3 hours away.
Yeah.
So I was like, where are all these Rhode Island teams that I thought were in this league?
1-1 pitches, low and away, ball 2. The other teams just didn't have support. Newport only averaged about 100 fans a game when they were the Rhode Island Gulls out of Cranston, moved here in 2001. The River Point Royals out of West Warwick, formerly the Rhode Island Reds, one of the original teams in the league. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and ripped into center field. Coming in, Steve Daniels still coming in. He'll make the catch to his right for the other. Retires aside. A 1-2-3 inning for Matt Fontaine and the Lowell All-Americans. We're through 3 here from Cardines Field. Newport Gulls 1, Lowell Americans 1. We're tied. We'll be back with the 4th inning next on the ACBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here at Cardines Field. We go to the 4th inning. Newport Gulls and Lowell Americans all tied at 1. Here to take you with the play-by-play once again, John Raiola.
Thank you, Nick. It'll be 9-1-2 for the All-Americans. Chase Reed back out there for the Newport Gulls. 1-1 here in the top of the 4th inning. This one just got underway at 2 o'clock. Of course, was rain shortened back on the 23rd of July. We began things in the bottom of the 2nd inning with 1 out. Gulls tied it up in that inning. That's where we stand right now. It'll be Chris Jensen leading it off against Chase Reed. Jensen struck out looking back on the 23rd, and he takes a slider over the outside edge for a strike. Jensen on the season for the All-Americans, hitting only .083. He takes a fastball a little inside to even the count at 1-1. No home runs and 1 RBI. This is 13th game. He swings and misses at a slider low and away, moves the count to 1-2. That was that good slider from Chase Reed. We'll see if he goes back to it again, ahead in the count 1-2. Reed winds, kicks, and deals. Slider swung on and missed, strike 3. So Jensen goes down on 4 pitches. That is the 5th strikeout of the game for Chase Reed, who, as we mentioned, was 3rd in the league in strikeouts when this game began. So 1 out, back to the top of the order, Steve Daniels. Daniels has singled twice, both of those coming in the initial game as he check swings, can hold up on a slider, called strike 1. Reed has the one he wants, winds, kicks, a fastball taken a little inside, ball 1. Daniels on the season, hitting .278, no home runs and 6 RBIs. Does have 9 steals in 10 attempts. That by far leads the All-Americans as he takes a slider a little outside for ball 2. Reed, a quick worker, gets the ball back and delivers a fastball over the outside edge, evens the count at 2. Reed looking for his 2nd strikeout of the inning.
It'd be his 6th of the outing. As he delivers a 2-2. It swung on and chopped down the first baseline, just foul as Ryan Wiegand was over there to field it. That one foul by a few inches as it hopped over the bag. Pitch count not really a concern for the Newport Gulls and Chase Reed, as not many times you'll see a makeup game or the continuance of a game involve the same two starting pitchers, as that's what we have here today. As the 2-2 pitch is a slider taken a little inside and low for ball 3. The count runs full on Steve Daniels. As I mentioned, 9 steals for Daniels. Reed would certainly like to keep him off the base here in a 1-1 game in the 4th. The payoff pitch swung on and chopped down the first base line and foul again. Pretty good at bat being put on here by Steve Daniels, as he's now seen 7 pitches from Reed. Once again, the payoff pitch from Reed is a slider driven to right field. Coming in is Santamaro. He slides. He can't catch it. Keeps it in front of him. Good job by Santamaro as he went into a feet-first dive. And one hopped him, bounced off his glove, stayed in front. So Daniels will reach at first base with a 1-out single. Very good at bat put on there by Steve Daniels. So Pat McKenna will step in. Here with a runner on first and 1 out. 1-1 in the top of the 4th. Chase Reed from the stretch delivers a fastball outside, ball 1. McKenna struck out swinging and singled. Both those once again coming July 23rd as Reed hops off, fires over to first. McKenna on the season for Lowell, hitting .301, 3 home runs and 17 RBI. Reed once again fires over, checks on Daniels. Chase Reed comes to the stretch, the 1-0 pitch. The slider clips the outside corner. Called strike 1 on McKenna. Brian Troop behind the plate. Richard Emerson is the base umpire for today. 2 new umpires. The 1-1 pitch from Reed with the runner going and swung on and chopped to third. Tamsin Fields fires on to first in time. Moving up to second base is Steve Daniels. It was a nice play by Mike Tamsin as that wasn't hit all that hard, but in the hole between third and short, he ranged to his left on his glove side, grabbed it, and fired on to first. So now 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. That'll bring up Nicholas Pecora, who by far leads the All-Americans in average, hitting .374. 55 for 147 on the season. First pitch to him is taken a little inside for ball 1. Pecora, no home runs, 21 RBI. 3rd on the team in total bases with 60. Reed checks the runner and delivers. Slider taken in there for a called strike 1. Not very often you see the number 3 hitter on a team with no home runs, but that .374 average certainly warrants the 3-hole for Pecora. So he has a guy on second base here with 2 outs as he watches a fastball over the outside edge, called strike 2. Reed checks the runner at second and delivers a 1-2 pitch. Slider swung on and missed in the dirt. Good block by Jack Murphy as he picks it up and tags Pecora for the out. That retires the side. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Chase Reed. Lowell leaves a man at second. We head to the bottom of the 4th. 1-1 on the NECBL Broadcast Network. It'll be the bottom 3rd of the Gulls order as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Nick Santamaro steps in and takes big cut on the first pitch from Fontaine. Comes up empty. Count moves to 0-1. Be Santamaro, Manning, and Cody Grisham for the Gulls here in the home half of the 4th. Matt Fontaine back out on the hill for the All-Americans. He delivers a fastball up and away, ball 1. Santamoro grounded out to second in the original game between these two teams. Fontaine delivers an off-speed pitch taken a little outside and low, ball 2. Santamoro on the season for the Gulls, hitting .297, 3 home runs and 15 RBI. Second on the team in doubles with 9. As he swings and fouls this one off behind the plate. Even the count at 2-2. For a while there, Santamoro led the Gulls in doubles, really by a lot, but Mike Tamsen has since passed him. Tamsen has passed a lot of people in a lot of categories as Nick Santamoro swings and misses at a 2-2 pitch. He goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning. Another strikeout for Fontaine. Dating back to the first game, that is now 6. As back in that first game, he walked the bases loaded in the bottom of the first inning, then struck out Kyle Conley, Ryan Wiegand, and Jack Murphy consecutively to end things in the first as Joey Manning swings and drives this one down the left field line, giving chase but landing foul. As Rouches gave it a look. It was off the end of the bat for Manning. Landed just to the left of the Gulls bullpen out there.
A light breeze starting to pick up now as we move into the early afternoon hours. Nice cool breeze. Blowing from, actually almost blowing in from center field.
Manning digs back in. Here the 0-1 pitch from Fontaine. It's a fastball taken over the inside corner. Called strike 2 on Manning. Good pitch by Fontaine. Moves the count to 0-2. Fontaine winds, kicks, fastball taken a little bit outside. Fontaine wanted as he walked off the mound. Looked like a pretty good pitch, but called the ball by home plate umpire Brian Troop. The count will be 1-2 on Manning. The pitch from Fontaine is swung on and chopped foul. Good job by Manning of staying alive. Not the season Manning was hoping for, as he's only hitting .208. This is his 27th game. 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. Hitting in the 8-hole for the Gulls here today, and the 1-2 pitch to him is swung on and fouled back and out of play once again by Manning. So good job by Joey Manning here with 2 strikes. He's fouled off a couple tough pitches from Fontaine, who we know can strike batters out with the best of them in the NECBL. 1-2 pitch from Fontaine is a fastball taken a little outside, ball 2.
Fontaine has a few different family members here tonight. He's had a few words with his brother John Fontaine, who attended Rhode Island College with myself. Very nice family.
And the 2-2 pitch from Fontaine is swung on and driven foul down the left field line. That one hit a lot harder than the first one. That one's going to land over on America's Cup Avenue. So 3 foul balls here with Joey Manning as he's down in the count, or was down in the count, 0-2. Count now 2-2. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Here with 1 out, bottom of the 4th, 1-1 is the score. And the 2-2 pitch is a fastball swung on and missed. Fontaine climbed the ladder on Joey Manning, and Manning couldn't catch up to it. A good live fastball from Matt Fontaine. It's his 2nd strikeout of the inning, his 7th of the ball game. That'll bring up number 9 hitter Cody Grisham, who did not start this game. Kenny Socorro started on the 23rd. He is in Miami. Cody Grisham fills in the 9-hole and at shortstop. The first pitch to him is taken outside for a ball. Grisham left the Gulls, was here earlier in the season, left the Gulls for about a month and a half, had to go back and tend to some school work. He takes a fastball inside, ball 2. He has rejoined the Gulls. This is his 3rd game. Got a chance to catch up with him before the game. Seems very excited to be back. Hitting only 167 with no home runs and 3 RBIs as he takes a fastball over the inside edge for a strike. Grisham, of course, had a game-winning hit for the Gulls back earlier in the season. That against Torrington here at Cardines Field in 11 innings. The 2-1 pitch is taken outside, ball 3. Known more for his glove than his bat. Only 5 for 30 on the season. Has scored 4 runs for the Gulls. Heading the count 3-1 now as he swings and chops one foul off the screen down the third baseline. The count runs full on Grisham. And Fontaine has an opportunity to strike out the side here. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Taylor Meehan waits on deck. Hoping to get an opportunity here with 2 outs. The bottom of the 4th inning. A payoff pitch to Grisham. Swung on in line to left and in for a base hit past the outstretched glove of Pat McKenna at shortstop. So Grisham's aboard with 2 outs. Bring things back to the top of the order and Taylor Meehan, and finally we're back into today's game where we can finally start saying that what batters have done today as Meehan began things here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 2nd at 2 o'clock here. He walked on a 3-2 pitch from Fontaine. He was ahead in that count 2-0 when the ball game began. We'll get a fresh at bat here against Fontaine as he swings at the first pitch and shoots it down the left field line. If it's fair, it's trouble. It's foul by about 2 feet. That one landed about 15 feet in front of the fence. Chris Rouches went over and gave it a look. Just a long strike for Taylor Meehan.
Hit by Grisham, just a second of the ball game for Newport. It's now been hit 9-2 by Lowell.
Not many hits, a lot of walks, and a lot of strikeouts for Fontaine. Although he has been better in the 2nd day as Grisham takes off. The curveball in the dirt, taken for a ball, and Grisham's going to slide in safely. It was a high throw from Chris Jensen, but a good jump by Cody Grisham. And Grisham has his 3rd steal of the year.
It's 3 for 3 now. And a steal on Saturday in Torrington as well. As we checked on the replay, it was close, but no tag was even applied. Good throw, though.
The pitch was a ball to Meehan, so the count evens at 1. Now the Newport Gulls have runner in scoring position here in a 1-1 ball game. Leadoff hitter Taylor Meehan up as he takes a fastball outside, ball 2.
Hit by Grisham, also his first single since being reactivated by the team. His first single since early June when he had to head back home.
Taylor Meehan hoping to pick him up here with 2 outs and a 2-1 count. Faces Matt Fontaine at the belt. Delivers an off-speed pitch, taken a little outside, ball 3. Cody Grisham was ahead in the count 3-1. Fontaine was able to work that full. Now Meehan finds himself in the 3-1 driver's seat. Hoping to get a pitch to hit here. Give the Gulls their first lead of the ball game. Fontaine checks the runner, delivers the 3-1, cut on and missed. A good cut by Taylor Meehan as he went after a high fastball from Fontaine. Mike Melillo waits on deck for the Newport Gulls. The center fielder Steve Daniels playing Meehan about 10 feet to the left of the second base bag, playing him to hit the other way, and the payoff pitch is a fastball taken outside, ball 4. So another walk from Fontaine, 2nd time that he's walked Meehan in this ball game. There'll be runners on 1st and 2nd for the Gulls here with 2 outs. Mike Melillo stepping in. That is the 7th walk for Matt Fontaine to go along with 7 strikeouts. As you mentioned, Nick, only 2 hits for the Newport Gulls. Mike Melillo swings and shoots the first pitch foul.
And Meehan's walked 3 times now. Second on the team in walks. Now has 18, 2 behind Tampson.
Two Gulls lead off. First and second, as firing towards second is Fontaine. Trying to check on Cody Grisham. The ball bounced away from Pat McKenna, the shortstop, as he tried to cover. He wasn't even at second base
Yeah,
yet.
that ball went right to the bag, but McKenna wasn't even there yet.
It hit McKenna, it looked like in the shin, and bounced over towards the second baseman, Del Valle. He picked it up, no advance from Grisham. So still an 0-1 count to Melillo. Fontaine delivers a slider-driven foul down the left field line once again. A lot of foul balls off the bat of the Newport Gulls here this inning. As Joey Manning had a long at bat in which he struck out. Cody Grisham fouled off a couple tough pitches, as did Taylor Meehan. So now an 0-2 count to Melillo. Grisham still standing at second base. Here in a 1-1 ball game, the pitch swung on and fouled to the left and out of play. Melillo on the season hitting .324 for the Gulls. Only 2 home runs and 24 RBI.
He's now dropped down to 3rd place for the first time this season in batting average behind Jack Murphy.
The 0-2 pitch to Melillo, swung on and driven, this time foul down the first base line. That one hit the screen in front of the Gulls dugout. Karam's back onto the field. This will be the 6th pitch of the at bat from Mike Melillo. He's yet to see a ball. Fontaine has had problems with walks. I said 7, it was 6. Who's counting at this point? The 0-2 pitch is a fastball taken over the outside edge. A called strike 3 as Melillo goes down looking for the out. That retires the side. The Gulls leave 2. And after 4 innings of play, it's 1-1. As we head to the top of the 5th on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And welcome back to Cardines Field as we head to the top of the 5th. John Rayola alongside Nick Lima here in a 1-1 ball game between the Newport Gulls and the Lowell All-Americans. This is a continuance of the first game, which was called due to rain in the bottom of the 2nd inning back on July 23rd. As Kevin Rivers swings at a first pitch offering from Chase Reed and fouls it straight back. Reed's thrown 39 pitches as we begin things here in the 5th. The next pitch to Rivers is a check swing, and Rivers was unable to hold up. The count moves to 0-2. 2 good sliders to begin things here. The cleanup man from Chase Reed. Reed has the sign he wants, and the 0-2 pitch is a fastball chopped to second base. Meehan has it. Fields throws on to first for the out, and plenty of time to get Rivers. So the leadoff man is retired 4-3. That'll bring up Tony Plagman. Plagman singled off Reed on the 23rd and grounded out back to Reed in this game. Of course, pitch count not really an issue for Reed, especially at this stage of the game, as he did get through 2 innings back on the 23rd of July. His first pitch swinging, Plagman swings and lines one into center field in front of Joey Manning for a 1-out hit. Manning bobbles it out there. Plagman rounds first base. He's going to retreat. So a 1-out single from Tony Plagman. Has 2 hits off Chase Reed. Of course, as we mentioned earlier, Newport Gulls showed up about an hour before game time. Did not take batting practice or infield, outfield. Showed up, threw the uniform on, and are out there right now as the first pitch to Balageron is taken over the outside edge for a strike. Michael Belageron, 2 for 2. One of those hits coming today off of Chase Reed. The slider's taken outside, ball 1. On the season, Belageron hitting .244, 2 home runs and 16 RBI. Waits on a 1-1 pitch from Chase Reed. Here it comes. A fastball clips the edge for a called strike 2. Belageron had a monster year at Assumption College, hitting .431 with no home runs and 29 RBI. That coming in 47 games. Belageron had to work that .431 average as he swings and misses at a slider. A good pitch from Chase Reed. So Belageron goes down on strikes, the second out of the inning. Plagman remains at first base, and that'll bring up Chris Rouches. Rouches has struck out twice. Both of those obviously coming against Chase Reed. Both of those were swinging. The first pitch to him as Rouches squares around the bunt and pulls back. He takes a slider in there for a called strike 1. Rouches on the season hitting only .169, no home runs and 9 RBI. 13 for 77. The 0-1 pitch to him is a fastball. Had Rouches spinning out of the way. Count evens at 1s. Tony Plagman on first base here in the top of the 5th inning. 1-1 is the score here at Cardines Field. And the 1-1 pitch is a slider taken over the outside edge. Called strike 2. Rouches offered to swing at it, checked his swing, and that pitch was called on the spot by the home plate umpire, Brian Troop. So Reed ahead in the count 1-2. Hoping to retire Rouches here. Make the top of the 6th inning a little easier. Number 8 and number 9 hitters Alex Del Valle and Chris Jensen await Reed. Here with 2 outs, 1-2 the count. Time was called at home plate, and once again now Reed is going to call timeout, and Jack Murphy is going to go out and talk to him. As I said, Rouches has struck out twice against Chase Reed and has not looked very good in this at-bat. Rouches attends Harvard, as does Newport Gulls second baseman Taylor Meehan. Murphy behind the plate. Reed to the set. Delivers a slider, chop to second. Over is Taylor Meehan. He fields, fires on to first for the out. That retires the side, so a good job by Chase Reed of leaving Tony Plagman on first base. So we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, still 1-1 on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And welcome back to Cardines Field as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be 3-4-5 for the Newport Gulls. The meat of the order, Mike Tamsin, Kyle Conley, and Ryan Wiegand. Matt Fontaine back out on the hill once again for the Lowell All-Americans. Fontaine has thrown 52 pitches. Begin things here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Tamsin has walked and flown out to left. That flyout came in today's game. The first pitch to him is a fastball taken a little outside, ball 1. Tamsin, about a week ago, was leading the NECBL in a lot of categories. Still leads in average with .434. The next pitch to him is taken outside, ball 2. Leads the Gulls in doubles with 10, hits with 43. Second with runs, 26 as he swings and skies this one to the left and out of play. Tied for the team lead with Kyle Conley in triples with 2. Only 1 home run, going with 16 RBI. 2-1 pitch to him is swung on and drilled foul off the screen down the 3rd baseline. Count evens at 2.
His on-base percentage leads the league and is on pace to set an all-time NECBL record. If he can keep it above 500, that is the record, held by several players.
2-2 pitch to Thompson and swung on and chopped to short. McKenna has it. Fires high on the first. But coming back on the bag was Tony Plagman. Good job by the big first baseman to go up and get that one. The running hard down the line was Thompson. It was a high throw from Pat McKenna, who had plenty of time. Wasn't hit overly hard. Gave him a nice high bounce and just sailed on him a little bit. But Plagman came down on the bag for the out. Thompson is out 6-3. That'll bring up Kyle Conley. Conley struck out twice. Both of those coming against Fontaine. Fontaine with 2 hits allowed, 7 strikeouts, and 6 walks. His first pitch swinging, Kyle Conley skies this one straight up. It's going to land about 5 feet out of play. We had some people, the few people that we do have here today, were not aware of where that ball was. And certainly hit very high from Kyle Conley. Would have done some serious damage. Next pitch to Conley is a fastball taken right down the middle, called strike 2. Conley's been important for the Gulls, hitting .278 with 7 home runs and 34 RBIs. As Nick mentioned, all 7 of those home runs coming in July. As he takes an 0-2 pitch over the outside corner. Seemed to be some sort of indecision from Brian Troop, as that was a late call. Nevertheless, it'll be a strikeout of Kyle Conley looking. And that'll bring up Ryan Wiegand. Troop is starting to hear it from some of the fans. That one looked to be a little bit outside, and it looked like he was going to call it a ball, as the All-Americans catcher Chris Jensen held it there for an extra second.
Yeah, he hesitated in that strike 3 call. It was outside and low.
Something. As first pitch swinging, Ryan Wiegand skies this one to left and out of play.
Well, the middle of the lineup has not fared well against Fontaine. Combined, they're 0 for 7. Conley, Wiegand, and Murphy.
Next pitch to Wiegand is swung on and drilled up the middle off the second base bag. It's going to roll into shallow left center. Charging it is Daniels. He'll pick it up on a stop. Ryan Wiegand, of course, does not run very fast. He'll remain at first base with a 2-out single.
Well, that one took an odd hop off that bag. If it went any closer to the shortstop, McKenna would have been able to make a play. Very strange carrying by that ball. Hit right on the edge of the bag.
I'll bring up Jack Murphy, the number 6 hitter for the Newport Gulls and catcher. Murphy flied out to center. His one at bat today. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game, as he takes a slider outside ball 1. As you mentioned, Murphy came into today's action hitting .333. He passed Mike Malillo, who was second on the team for a long time in batting average. Murphy with 9 doubles. He's second on the team in that category. So he swings and shoots this one up the middle. That one hops right over the second base bag and rolls into center field. That was ticketed for the bag as well. It took a quick little hop right in front of it and bounced over. So back-to-back hits up the middle for the Gulls. They've got something going here with 2 outs and 2 on.
That's just the 4th hit for Newport. First time they've had 2 hits in an inning.
Here's certainly a good opportunity for the Newport Gulls. Now rests on the bat of Nick Santamora with 2 outs. Runs have been hard to come by. We're here in the bottom of the 5th on a 1-1 game. The first pitch to Santamora was taken upstairs, ball 1. Santamora just under 300, hitting .297. Come down a little bit with a strikeout back in the 4th inning. Very solid for the Newport Gulls this season as he takes a fastball over the outside corner. He didn't like the call. The count evens at 1-1. Santamora with 3 home runs and 15 RBI. Plays his college ball at Dartmouth. Waits on a 1-1 from Fontaine with 2 runners on for the Gulls. He takes a fastball outside, ball 2.
A long broadcast day coming up for you folks. Stay tuned after this game for the post-game show. And we'll have a pregame show about 20 minutes following that.
First, the 2-1 pitch to Santamoro. It's an off-speed pitch, borderline at best, called strike 2.
And of course, after our pregame show, the regular scheduled game will begin at 6:35. So we'll be on the pregame show at 6:05 for game 2 later on tonight.
Wiegand leads off second, Jack Murphy off first. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. The pitch to Santamoro is a fastball taken outside, ball 3. And Santamoro, that pitch wasn't even close, but Santamoro, with the 2 pitches that have been called on him so far in this at-bat, certainly had to at least consider it. As he dove out over the plate and checked his swing. The count moves to 3-2. Runners will be off with the pitch. And the pitch to Santamoro is a fastball taken outside, ball 4. The bases are loaded for the Gulls here with 2 outs. Joey Manning coming to the plate.
Troop does have a wide strike zone tonight, but that one was well off the plate. Manning struck out twice in this ball game. Get an opportunity here to give the Gulls a lead.
So now we're going to have a visit as the manager for the All-Americans comes out. Catcher Chris Jensen comes out.
That's Dave Foraker, the pitching coach, on the mound.
Very quick meeting. So he's now walking back off. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning as Fontaine got Tamsin a ground out too short, struck out Kyle Conley on 3 pitches, but then allowed back-to-back singles to Ryan Wiegand and Jack Murphy. And then walks Nick Santamoro on a 3-2 pitch. Joey Manning looking to do some serious damage. Really pick himself up after, as we mentioned, hasn't been a great season for Manning. The first pitch to him is swung on and flared up the middle. McKenna over, he fields, fires on to first in time for the out. It was a broken bat. Liner off the bat of Joey Manning, not hit very hard. McKenna had time to go over and field it behind the second base bag. He didn't have time to go to second, threw on to first for the out that retires the side. The Gulls leave 3, and after 5 innings, it's 1-1 on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And welcome back to Cardines Field. John Real alongside Nick Lima. As we head to the top of the 6th inning. The Newport Gulls and the Lowell All-Americans tied at 1. Chase Reed back out on the hill for the Newport Gulls. He's thrown 51 pitches. And what is officially his 5 innings of work, only 3 of those innings coming today. He'll face 8, 9, and 1 from the Lowell All-Americans. Alex Del Valle steps in. He singled, a rare single, in game 1, first game, as he takes the first pitch ball.
Newport Gulls lost the first game of the season series 5-2 in Lowell back on June 22nd.
Del Valle swings and misses at a slider in the dirt.
That game was decided after 8 innings. Newport did have the bases loaded in the 8th inning and the tying run on at first base, but the game was called due to rain. And a controversial call was decided not to be made up.
The 1-1 pitch from Reed misses inside, ball 2.
So it was an official game, well past an official game at that point. Lowell did take the 5-2 victory.
The next pitch from Reed is swung on and missed. Another slider in the dirt, and Del Valle has certainly not been able to solve that slider from Chase Reed, as he's been ahead in the count twice in this at-bat, both times swinging and missing at slider that was in the left-hander's batter's box and in the dirt. The 2-2 pitch is another slider chopped foul off the plate. That one appeared to be a strike from Reed. If I'm Chase Reed, it's tough because it's 2-2, but got to consider going back out in that same spot, as Del Valle struggled with that same pitch back in the 3rd inning in his first at-bat today, as he swings at a fastball inside, busts his bat, goes over to Ryan Wiegand, who picks it up, steps on the bag himself for the out. That was a fastball inside, shattered the bat. The bat rolled out towards the mound. The ball, it was like a swinging bunt, rolled all the way down the first baseline. Wiegand had to wait, as Chase Reed had to wait and dodge the bat. Once the bat got by Reed, he ran over to first base to try to cover. And Ryan Wiegand waited for the ball, picked it up, took it himself, a bang-bang play over at first base, gets Del Valle for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Chris Jensen. He takes a slider low and in the dirt for ball 1. Jensen struck out twice, struck out once today. That's swinging, hitting only .083 on the season. 2 hits in 24 at-bats, now 25 at-bats. He swings and shoots this one off the side of the mound, charging is Grissom. He has it, throws on the run, and gets Jensen by about 5 steps over at first base for the second out of the inning. The ball was hit more up the middle than it was to short. It hit the side of the mound, kicked over towards Cody Grisham, who fielded on the run. Fired to first base in plenty of time. So that'll bring up Steve Daniels here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th, and he takes a first pitch strike in there. Daniels is 3 for 3, hitting atop the order for the All-Americans as he takes an off-speed pitch over the outside edge for a called strike 2. Count moves to 0-2 quickly on Steve Daniels. Chase Reed has looked very strong and sharp here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Daniels calls time. The 0-2 pitch to him from Reed is swung on and driven to left field. Coming in is Conley, and he tracks it down as he almost overran that ball. He had to kind of stop at the last second and reach back over his right shoulder and pull it in for the out. That retires the side, so the All-Americans go quietly in the top of the 6th inning. We head to the bottom of the 6th, still tied at 1 on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And we're back here for the bottom of the 6th inning. The Gulls will send up 9-1-2. Matt Fontaine, of course, back out there for the Lowell All-Americans. Cody Grisham, who filled in for Kenny Socorro, singled back in the 4th inning. He'd like to get aboard here. To begin things in the bottom of the 6th, he also had a stolen base as he squares around and bunt and pops this one foul back behind the plate for strike 1. Grisham, as we mentioned, light hitting shortstop, hitting only 167. That was before his single last at bat. Fontaine has thrown 71 pitches through his 3 innings of work here today, 3+ innings of work. So the next pitch to Grisham misses outside. Count evens at 1-1. Top of the order, and Taylor Meehan waiting on deck. The Gulls loaded the bases with 2 outs last inning, were unable to score as Cody Grisham swings and shoots this one up the middle. 2 hits in the ball game for Grisham, and he's aboard here to begin things in the bottom of the 6th inning. Looked like a fastball low and away. He went out and got it, drove it up the middle.
As average now climbs to 219 for Cody Grisham.
So we always round up, Nick. You always round up, especially when they're Gulls players. They'll bring up Taylor Meehan in the top of the order. We'll see if the Gulls choose to sacrifice here. As Meehan is squaring around, he pulls back and takes low for ball 1. Was curious to see if they'd gamble a little bit and try to steal Cody Grisham, try to get him in a scoring position without giving up an out, or at least get him in scoring position and then bunt him over to third base. Meehan squared around on that first pitch. He squares around again, bunts this one down the third base line. It's a hard bunt, but fielded and fired on to first base. As Nicholas Pecora was in on the grass, he charged. He might have had a play at second base on Cody Grisham, as that was bunted hard off the bat of Taylor Meehan. Pecora didn't even look at second, got the shore out at first. So Meehan is out on a sacrifice. for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up number 2 hitter for the Newport Gulls, Mike Malillo. Fontaine from the stretch delivers an off-speed pitch a little bit low. Malillo struck out back in the 4th inning, singled in the 2nd and walked in the 1st. Mike Tamsin waits on deck. 1-0 pitch to Malillo. Fastball that clips the outside corner. Evens the count at 1-1. Outfield playing Malillo pretty much straight away as Daniels in center, maybe a few feet to the left of the second base bag. Next pitch to Malillo, taken over the outside corner. Count moves to 1-2 on the Gulls' designated hitter. Nothing else, even though there is 1 out. Malillo would like to move Grisham over to third base. You never know what will happen. You have a runner on third base, even with 2 outs. A 1-2 pitch to Malillo, misses upstairs, ball 2. Fontaine finally gets the sign he wants from Jensen, comes to the stretch, checks the runner and delivers a fastball fouled off the screen down the third baseline. Count hangs at 2-2. Taylor Meehan sacrificed Cody Grisham to second base. Grisham on second still with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1-1 is our score. Of course, if you're just joining us, this is a makeup game from July 23rd. Continued game. That game was stopped with 2 outs in the bottom of the 2nd. Lowell was winning 1-0 at that time. It is now 1-1 as Malillo swings and skies this one down the left field line. Over his rushes, he's going to run out of room. This one's going to be fouled by about 10 feet. So once again, Malillo putting on a tough at-bat as he was down 0-2 to Fontaine back in the 4th inning. He saw 3 more pitches before striking out. He's now fouled 2 off with 2 strikes here. And this at-bat here in the 6th inning. Little left-handed batter. Waits on the offering from Fontaine. He swings and skies this one to center. Going back is Daniels in the left center gap. He's going to track this one down. Tagging is Cody Grisham. He'll move to third standing up. Good jump out there by Steve Daniels, as Malillo gave that one a ride to left center. So Malillo does a little bit at least do the job and get Grisham over to third base. As I was saying before, you never know, a wild pitch, an error on the infield. Good score, Cody Grisham here in a 1-1 game as we head to the latter part of this ball game. I'll bring up Mike Tamsin, just the guy that the Gulls wanted up, as he takes a fastball outside, ball 1. Maybe a little bit surprised that they're going after Tamsin here. Of course, you have the cleanup hitter on deck, but what Tamsin has done is he takes a fastball outside, ball 2. What Tamsin has done, you don't want to let him beat you, because they've been very careful with him so far. So both fastballs have been well off the plate. He now waits on a 2-0 pitch from Fontaine. That one in there for a strike. Of course, as we've mentioned, Tamsin hitting .434. 43 for 99 on the season. He has hit the entire time that he's been with the Newport Gulls. It's the 2-1 pitch, misses outside, ball 3. Tamsin was not with the Gulls initially as he was playing in Cape Cod. He was released from his contract, picked up instantly by the Newport Gulls, and it's been a mainstay ever since as he swings and shoots this one foul. Count moves to 3-2.
All right, he's on a 1-for-14 slump at the moment. Seeing his average has dropped from .494 down to just below .430.
Will be a 3-2 pitch from Tamsin. The fastball misses outside, ball 4. So Tamsin walks for the second time today. And although he fouled off a couple pitches there, it did appear that Fontaine and the All-Americans were certainly being a little careful with him at least. As now I'll bring up the right-hand hitter Kyle Conley to face Fontaine, who's also obviously right-handed, and Kyle Conley has struck out 3 times against Fontaine. Conley certainly looking to break out here against the All-Americans righty as the first pitch misses low and away, ball 1. It's only the second ball that Conley's seen on the day as he's been behind in the count in every at-bat so far. 1-0 pitch to him is swung on and driven foul. It's a good pitch to hit from Conley. He's upset at himself.
Ryan Wiegand makes a one-handed grab in the on-deck circle.
Of course, Wiegand waiting on deck. Murphy after that. They both want to hit here in this inning. It's the 1-1 pitch to Conley. It's a slider. It skips to the backstop. Here comes Cody Grisham. Play at the plate, and he's in there as the ball bounces off the glove of Fontaine. Tampson moves up to second. And just like that, the Gulls have a 2-1 lead. As we said at the time, that sacrifice from Mike Melillo. So he got Cody Grisham over to third base with 2 outs. Proves to be a very big play.
Obi charges a wild pitch on Matt Fontaine.
The Gulls now with their first lead of the ball game. They'll lead it 2-1. Another runner in scoring position as Mike Tampson moved up to second.
It's his first wild pitch all season, and it's costly.
2-1 pitch to Conley as a fastball misses upstairs, ball 3. As we said, Ryan Wiegand waits on deck for the Newport Gulls. You wonder if Fontaine is finally starting to tire here. Bottom of the 6th inning. 3-1 pitch to Conley is taken a little inside, ball 4. Well, Fontaine certainly has impressive stuff, but the walks have become more than an issue for Fontaine, as dating back to July 23rd where he started. That is now, at least in this ball game, 9 walks. As that will be it. As out to the mound to the All-Americans manager, and Fontaine flips the ball to the manager and walks off. So we will have a pitching change with runners on first and second and 2 outs to face Ryan Wiegand. We'll get you the name of the pitcher here in a minute. Tell you a little bit about what Ryan Wiegand has done today.
So we have a pitching change coming to this game from Cardines Field. We'll come back, tell you about the new pitcher next on the NECBL Broadcast Network.
And we're back here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The new pitcher for the Lowell All-Americans is Jason Kasakow. Kasakow 1-3 on the season, and even 4 ERA. 27 innings pitched, 23 hits, 12 earned runs to go along with 15 strikeouts and 15 walks. Opponents only hitting .221 off of the righty.
Native of Scarsdale, New York. Just finished up his sophomore season at Winthrop University. 6'2", 200-pound right-hander.
A little surprised that with Wiegand on deck, the switch hitting Murphy and then the left-hand hitting Nick Santamoro, Lowell opted not to go with a left-handed pitcher. As we had touched on before, Murphy was a switch hitter. He struggled a lot from the right side. He chose to only bat left-handed, even against left-handed pitching. He obviously will bat left-handed if he gets an opportunity against Kasakow. The book is not yet closed on Matt Fontaine. His runners are on first and second with 2 outs, and the first pitch to Wiegand misses upstairs. Wiegand struck out in game 1. Flew out to left today and singled up the middle off the first base bag. That was really the turning point in the Gulls' offensive game so far. He takes a fastball over the outside corner. Fontaine had only allowed 2 hits to that point, only 1 today, until Ryan Wiegand with 2 outs back in the 5th inning singled. Jack Murphy singled. Santamoro walked, and all of a sudden the Gulls had the bases loaded and 2 outs, forced Fontaine to throw a few more pitches, and that finally caught up to him here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The next pitch to Wiegand is an off-speed pitch taken in the dirt. Ball 2. Wiegand on the season for the Gulls, hitting .241. Surprisingly, the power has not been there for the big first baseman, hitting only 2 home runs and 14 RBIs, only 4 doubles as well.
Didn't have a single home run in the regular season last year for Newport. Did have a home run in the postseason, though.
Slugging only .333. The next pitch to him is taken upstairs, ball 3.
Hit for average last year. Second best hitter on the Gulls squad. Also led the team in walks for much of the season. Struggled a little bit more at the plate this season, particularly towards the end of the month of June. But he's rebounded since.
He's got himself a 3-1 count here against the relief pitcher, Jason Kasakow, and here's the pitch taken way high, ball 4. Now that wasn't even close. So the bases once again are loaded for the Newport Gulls.
3rd time today.
Once again, this time with 2 outs. Here comes Jack Murphy. Murphy, as we said, followed up Wiegand's single back in the 5th inning with a single of his own, virtually the same spot.
Jack Murphy.
Murphy does have a grand slam this season. Came here at Cardines Field as straightaway center.
And that was a home run that came at a big time for the Newport Gulls, and a home run that Jack Murphy absolutely knew he hit as soon as he hit it. He stood in the batter's box for about 5-10 seconds. As the first pitch to him is a curveball that floats outside, ball 1.
Murphy 2 for 3 with the bases loaded now. So he struck out in the first.
Was an even 25 for 75 coming in, a .333 average. Ahead in the count 1-0, and the pitch from Kasakow is taken over the outside corner. Murphy didn't like that call. Murphy doesn't like many calls that go against him, as he's back there behind the plate most of the time with those umpires. He has a good feel for the zone, what the umpires are calling that day, and when he thinks that something uncharacteristic, he doesn't take it too well.
Not at all. He's had some interesting comments to umpires.
A 1-1 pitch to him is taken downstairs, ball 2. Back in ahead in the count is Murphy. Does have 19 RBIs on the season, slugging .573. A Newport Gull on every base here in the bottom of the 6th inning. They lead 2-1, and the 2-1 pitch to Murphy is taken inside and low, ball 3. So Kasakow has not looked very sharp coming out of the pen whatsoever. As now Jensen is going to go out and talk to him, try to calm down his right-hander. As he walked Wiegand on 5 pitches. He's now down 3-1 to Jack Murphy. A run already in for the Gulls as they have their first lead of the game. Lead it by 1, 2-1. 2-1. We'll see if Murphy jumps all over a pitch from Kasakow or is a little tentative due to the fact that he's been all over the place so far. Certainly we'll be looking for one middle in here on 3-1. Kasakow to the stretch. And the pitch misses low, ball 4. He walks in a run. Here comes Mike Tampson. And the Gulls now have a 3-1 lead.
Jack Murphy will take the RBI, his 20th of the season.
The right fielder,
Incredibly,
number
the
24, Nick
4th Newport Gull
Santamoro.
to reach 20 or more runs batted in this year. Newport leads the league in runs scored. On pace to set several team records offensively, and also on pace for a couple NECBL records if things continue.
And that brings up Nick Santamoro, who takes a fastball over the outside corner. Count moves to 0-1 on Santamoro. He is 0 for 2. He's grounded out to second, struck out and walked. His walk last inning loaded the bases. He now finds himself at the plate with a bases loaded situation. As now Ryan Wiegand, Kyle Conley, and Jack Murphy are all on. Conley on third, Wiegand on second, and Murphy on first. Jason Kosikow to the belt. The 0-1 pitch to Santamoro is a curveball taken a little high for ball one. That one was caught in a pretty good spot across the plate. About letter high to Santamoro. Count now 1-1 to him. And the next pitch is swung on and missed. Big cut with the bases loaded by Santamoro. Now down in the count 1-2.
Santamoro batting .310 against right-handers this season. 27 for 87 coming into this game.
Joey Manning waiting on deck for the Gulls, hoping to get an opportunity. First, the 1-2 pitch to Santamoro is a curveball taken way outside, ball two. As that curveball has not been anywhere close to the zone. He's thrown one hanger to Santamoro that stayed a little upstairs, but other than that, everything has been way outside. If you're Nick Santamoro, you got to be thinking fastball right here on 2-2, and that's exactly what he gets as he fouls it to the left and out of play.
Nick is 0 for 1 with the bases jammed this season.
Santamoro has 15 RBIs, 9 doubles, and 3 home runs. Certainly take one of those right now. The 2-2 pitch to him. It's taken low and in the dirt. Nice pick by Chris Jensen behind the plate. Once again, another 3-ball count for Kosikow. This time it's full to Nick Santamoro. The runners, Kyle Conley, Ryan Wiegand, and Jack Murphy will be moving on the pitch with 2 outs here. The Gulls leading 3-1 in the bottom of the 6th inning. Kosikow at the belt, delivers a fastball taken downstairs, ball 4. He's walked in his 2nd run of the game. As he looks over towards the dugout, squints a little bit. You wonder, perhaps something's wrong with Kosikow as he's walked the 3 batters that he's faced.
Well, now 5 consecutive walks for the Lowell All-Americans in a game that was tied at 1-1 when this inning began. Has quickly evolved into a game that will get away from them if things continue, and that's going to do it for Kosikow as the manager coming out, Ken Connerty, he's going to go to the bullpen.
And we will get you the new arm for the Lowell All-Americans when we come back on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And we're back here at Cardine Field with the Newport Gulls have a 4-1 lead over the Lowell All-Americans. The new pitcher, Bobby Swan, for the Lowell All-Americans, a 5.06 ERA. Does not have a record. This is 6th appearance, 5 1/3 innings pitched, 9 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 4 walks rather, and 6 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .360 off Swan. As we said, this only his 6th appearance, and I'm not surprised by that, as he was playing in the baseball league that I play in earlier this season. I broke a bat against him. You want to talk about Torrington being an arch nemesis to the Gulls? This is my arch nemesis. I have been unable to solve him. Now Joey Manning will get an opportunity to do the same as he takes a fastball inside for ball 1.
Which league is that?
That is the Newport Sunset League. He played for Mudville. Started a few games for them earlier in the season. As Joey Manning swings and shoots this one down the left field line. This is trouble as it goes over into the corner. The left fielder, Roche, is over. He throws his hands up as the Gulls continue to round the bases. Now time is called. 2 runs are in. Believe this is going to be a ground rule double as that must have gone under the fence out there in left field. As Santamoro is going to go back to third base. Manning is going to be standing on second. 2 runs come in as Ryan Wiegand and Jack Murphy both score. And the Gulls all of a sudden have a 6-1 lead.
Jerry Manning picks up RBI 7 and 8 of the season. up his first hit of the night and the first hit, extra base hit of this entire ball game for either team. Newport Gulls putting up 5 runs here in the 6th inning.
That'll now bring up Cody Grisham, who led this inning off, as he takes a first pitch fastball in there for a strike. It was a high fastball to Manning. Swan, a conventional pitcher, fastball, curveball change. Does get pretty good movement on that fastball as that curveball misses low for ball 1.
Coming up in game 2, Newport Gulls will send Tom Costigan, the right-hander on Manhattan College, to face Jamil Acosta, the lefty, for the Manchester Silkworms.
Here the 1-1 pitch to Grisham is swung on and chopped towards short. McKenna fields, fires on the run, pulls first baseman way off the bag. He's going to get by him and roll all the way to the back wall as 2 runs are going to come in and score for the Gulls as Manning comes all the way around from second. Grisham moves up 2 seconds to take his place. 2 more are in, and it's now 8-1. That's going to go as an error, as it was a tough play from McKenna, but he did have time. A good throw certainly would have had Cody Grisham running down the line at first. He rushed the throw, and that wasn't really even close at first.
Well, no RBI for Grisham. Bridges on the E6.
Tony Flagman had to come way off the bag at first. Now Taylor Meehan steps in.
I believe that's the first error of this ball game.
Meehan sacrificed in his at-bat earlier this inning. This is now the second time that he's been up. Takes a fastball upstairs, ball 1. So an E6, no RBIs for Grisham. He now stands at second base. 7 runs in the inning for the Newport Gulls as they lead 8-1. Bobby Swan at the belt, delivers a curveball taken outside, ball 2. Swan pitches at CCRI, a native of Cumberland, Rhode Island. Tall, slender left-hander. Comes to the belt, checks the runner, and delivers. Swung on and chopped to second base. Del Valle over. Fields throws on to first for the out. That finally retires the side, but not before the Gulls get 7 runs and take a commanding 8-1 lead. We're done with 6 at Cardines Field. You're listening to Newport Gulls baseball on the NECBL Broadcast Network. And we're back here at Cardines Field, where the Newport Gulls have an 8-1 lead over the Lowell All-Americans. And here to take over the play-by-play story for the rest of the game, Nick Lima.
Thank you very much, John Rayola. 8-1 Newport Gulls lead the All-Americans here in the 7th. Pat McKenna takes the first pitch, breaking ball in there for strike 1 from Chase Reed. Now has a commanding lead to work with. A game that was a pitcher's duel up until this point. The 0-1 pitch, low and away. 1-1 the count, all even. McKenna 1 for 3. Strikeout, single, ground out. Pitch. That's check swing. Did he go? No, he didn't, says field umpire Richard Emerson. 2 balls and a strike to count on McKenna. Nick Pecora will follow. Pitch. Breaking balls in there for strike 2. The count's even. Newport Gulls scoring 7 times in the 6th inning. Straining just 1 batter on base. Next pitch is swung on, foul, tipped to the backstop. It just got a piece. McKenna stays alive. Prior to that inning, Newport has stranded 10 on base on just 4 hits. Finally, they get runs home against Lowell. 2-2 delivery. Outside, check the swing on another slider, ball 3. Counts worked full McKenna. Came in at 301, 3 homers, 17 runs batted in. The payoff pitch from Reed. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. First strikeout here in the 7th inning. First strikeout for Reed since the 5th. Picks up his 8th of the night. Well, you don't want the decision to pull Matt Fontaine. He had been pitching fairly effectively. His pitch count was starting to get up there, though. He was seeing a lot of high counts on batters who were fouling a lot of pitches off. He walked 2 consecutively. That's what took him out of the game. But Lowell All-American relievers didn't fare better. First pitch swinging is Nick Picoro. He grounds a base hit to left. Picoro will be on his first hit of the ball game. He's 1 for 4. That's the All-Americans' 11th hit. They've out-hit Newport 11-6.
The right fielder.
Going back to Matt Fontaine, I think the more puzzling thing was the fact that we saw Bobby Swan come in after Costical walked 3 guys, walked in 3 runs.
So first pitch is ball 1 to Rivers.
And they were against all left-handed, or what would have been left-handed hitters in Wiegand, Murphy, and Santamoro. You bring in the right-hander, he walks them all. Swan comes in, gives up the double to Manning, a right-hand hitter. Seems like that was completely reversed in the decision-making.
1-0 pitch is a fastball in the outside corner. 1-1 the count on Kevin, who's 2 for 3. Pair of singles and a ground out. 1 on here, 1 out. In the 7th, the pitch. Low. Ball 2. Game 2, this day-night split doubleheader will be against the Manchester Silkworms. That game will get underway at 6:35. We'll have the first pitch at 6:05 for you. Or rather, the pregame show at 6:05. 2-1 pitch is swung on foul to the screen. The count's even. Newport Gulls. We'll see Tom Costigan get the start for Newport as a 2-2 pitch. Just misses inside. The count's worked full.
And Nick, the book is closed on Matt Fontaine. 4 2/3 innings pitched. 8 walks, 9 strikeouts, 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 of those earned.
3-2 the count. The payoff pitch is a strike 3 called right down the middle of breaking ball. Got him on the curve. Kevin Rivers goes down by way of the K for the first time in this ball game. That's the 2nd strikeout of the inning for Reed, his 9th of the night.
First baseman.
As I said, 4 2/3. It was 5 2/3 from Fontaine, but that was more the issue. As it appeared only 4 hits, but 8 walks, and I believe 4 of those coming the 23rd, 4 of those coming today.
First pitch is lining in right field. This is going to drop in for a base hit. Stopping at second is Pecora, and Tony Plagman has his 2nd hit of the night, 3rd hit of the ball game. He's 3 for 4. Single was the last time, grounded out, had an RBI single in the 1st. And Plagman now stands at first base. 2 on, 2 outs from Mike Balageron.
Number 19.
Fontaine did have 9 strikeouts. Reed has just fanned his 9th batter of the ball game. Now comes to the stretch at the bell. A check on the runner. The pitch to Balageron is swung on, bounced to the shortstop. Grisham has it, fields, underhands to the bag at second for the force. That retires the side. All-Americans straight up here. They've left 11. We had through 6.5 from Cardines Field. 7th inning stretch time. Well, no fans to observe it on the NACBL Broadcast Network. Go to the last of the 7th here at Cardines Field. This is Tigers TV Crew Power Inning. Right to the Newport Gulls Baseball is brought to you in part by the all-volunteer Tiverton High School Tigers TV Crew, which is now in its 5th season, bringing you Newport Gulls baseball broadcasts. Our all-volunteer crew led by our director and executive producer Tom Lima down in the control room, strives to bring every Newport Gulls home game to you in the highest quality possible. And if a Gulls batter hits a grand slam this inning, that batter will receive a free DVD copy of today's broadcast, courtesy of the Tigers TV Crew. Mike Melillo leads things off here in the 7th, bats from the right side, and checks his swing on the first pitch strike from Bobby Swan. Swan gave up a 2 RBI double to Joey Manning in the 6th. The left-hander's 0-1 is on the inside corner, strike 2. Newport Gulls and the Lowell All-Americans in the rubber game for Newport of the season series. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on 3 pitches. So Swan comes on, fans Melillo. Now we'll see Mike Timson hitless in this ball game. He's been without a hit in 3 of his last 4 games. Only just 1 hit for his last 14 at-bats. Let's have 2 walks in this game. Team lead in 22 walks in the season. Also leads the league in on-base percentage. Came in at .528. Thompson will need a few more hits if he wants a shot at that all-time NECBL batting record, which is .429. His average was at .434 when this game began. First pitch to him is a strike on the outside corner. Thompson now 43 for 101 on the season. Pitch, swinging a line drive, base hit into center field. Mike Thompson has a 1-out single. He's on base for the 3rd time this ball game. He's now 1 for 3. Just needs a few more of those to break the NECBL record before the season comes to an end. There's 3 games left to do it. One of those games will be tonight as the Gulls take on the Manchester Silkworms in Southern Division action.
The left fielder.
Another game will be tomorrow against the Northam Steeplecats as that season series is wrapped up. And the final game will be against the Pittsfield Dukes here at Cardines Field on Thursday night. Newport an off day Wednesday. 1 on, 1 out for Kyle Conley. He's 0 for 3 at the walk. First pitch swinging, he pops it up. Shallow left field. In comes the center fielder now. Under it. Has a beat, makes a catch. Daniels puts away Conley. There's 2 outs here in the 7th. Kyle Conley now 0 for 4. Alex Gregory has not appeared in this game, but Gregory, along with Conley, the league leaders in home runs and RBI. Gregory will appear in game 2. Ryan Wiegand to bat now. Wiegand trades playing time with Gregory at first base. 1 for 3 in the night, a walk, a single, fly to left, struck out looking. Came in batting .241, 2 homers, 14 runs batted in. That's here with a runner at first base and 2 down. 8-1, the Gulls lead Lowell. The pitch. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 1. Newport vying to improve to 13-5 at home. They hold on to win this one. They're the best home record in the NCBL Southern Division. 0-1 pitch. Ripped into right field. That's a base hit. Wiegand's on with a 2-out single. Charting into second base is Mike Thompson. The Gulls are in business again here in the 7th. 2 on, 2 out for Jack Murphy. Murphy, who was 1 for 3 on the ball game. Strikeout, a fly out to center, a single, and an RBI walk. Now has 20 runs driven in the season. And Ken Conardry coming out to the mound for a word here with Bobby Swan. And he's going to take the baseball, so we'll have another pitching change. 4th pitcher of the night for Lowell will come to the mound when we return next. We'll tell you all about him. A pitching change coming to this game from Cardines Field on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Welcome back here to Cardines Field in Newport, Rhode Island. The new pitcher for the Lowell All-Americans, number 7, Paul Toland. An 8.31 ERA, no record in 1 previous appearance prior to this afternoon. Toland pitched 4 1/3 innings in that 1 relief outing. Gave up 6 hits, 4 runs, all of them earned. He's walked 3. No one, struck out 3. He's allowed a home run. Opponents are hitting .316 off of Paul. So just his 2nd appearance here of the season for the Lowell All-Americans. He'll enter the game here with runners at first and second and 2 out. An 8-1 deficit for Lowell as the Newport Gulls look to win their 3rd straight here. In the nightcap, Newport will play Manchester. Silkworms trying to hold on to the 4th playoff spot in the NCBL South. Toland from the University of Rochester, native of South Weymouth, Massachusetts, 6 foot, 175-pound right-hander, entering his senior season at Rochester next year. So Gulls have Thompson at second, Ryan Wiegand at first. Each reached by way of a single off of reliever Bobby Swan. Right-hander Toland comes to the stretch at the letters. Here's the pitch. Fastball is inside. Ball 1 to Jack Murphy. Murphy an RBI on the night. Came on a bases-loaded walk in the 6th. 1 for 3. A single, he flied to center and struck out. Started Matt Fontaine pitch effectively through the first 5 innings. All-American bullpen imploded in the 6th as the Gulls sent 11 runners to the plate. The 1-0 pitch swung on a miss, strike one. Counts even to Jack. Nick Santamaro waits on deck here with 2 outs. Murphy levels the bat from the left side, from the stretch. Toland, 1-1 delivery. Curve is swung on a miss, strike two. Rode high and outside on him. That one had some movement as Murphy is down the count. Ball and 2 strikes. Runners at first and second. Infield, outfield straight away here with 2 down. Still in the sunny skies here. The wind has picked up a little bit at Cardines Field, but it's a beautiful afternoon. Should have a nice, pleasant evening for baseball later against Manchester. 1-2 delivery coming from Toland. Inside, did he go? No, says Richard Emerson. Murphy did not offer. Looked like he barely moved the bat from up here. He just tried to back away from that one. Jensen made it a good stop. Counts even at 2-2. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 the count. 8-1 Gulls here in the 7th. Murphy levels the bat as Toland gets the signs from Jensen. Likes what he sees from the stretch. He kicks and deals a 2-2 pitch. Ball 3 is outside. The count is worked full. Gulls have managed 8 hits so far in this one. 2 here in the 7th inning. 3-2 the count on Jack Murphy. Toland from the stretch. The payoff pitch. Ball 4 is low, and for the 4th inning tonight, the Newport Gulls will have a bases loaded 2-out situation. Nick Santamaro, who walked with the bases jammed in the 6th to drive in a run. His 16th RBI this season, has 2 walks in the night. He's over 2, a ground out and a strikeout. Like an opportunity here to drive in a couple more runs. Gulls lead off every base. Toland sets and fires. Fastball misses low. 1-0. Santamaro also bats on the left side, a tap on the plate. Looks out on Toland. He's taking his time here. 1-0. Swing and a miss, a big cut by Nick. It counts even at 1-1. Santamaro 0 for 1 with the bases loaded this season. And walked his last time with the bases juiced. Toland sets, kicks, deals, 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And Santamaro falls behind. Gulls up by 7 runs here. A game that was a pitcher's duel until the 6th inning. Lowell's bullpen gave up 7 of the 8 runs that Newport has plated. 1-2 delivery. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. But the Gulls leave him loaded for the 3rd time tonight. They've left 14. However, they lead this ball game 8-1. We go to the 8th. Newport Gulls 8, Lowell All-Americans 1 on the NECBL Broadcast Network. Back in now, Cardines Field. Chase Reed out for nothing work. Sends the first pitch, breaking ball in there and swung on a miss for strike 1 to Chris Rouches. Rouches 0 for 3 in the ball game, pair of strikeouts. Bounced out 4-3. Next one is fastball inside, ball 1. Well, Reed may be vying to go the distance in this one. This will be his last start. He's scheduled and slated as the Game 1 starter for the postseason for Newport. Playoff action begins Saturday afternoon here at Cardines Field. We'll be on the air at the pregame show at a special time, 6 o'clock Eastern. First pitch at 6:35. 1-2, the 2-1 pitch is outside. Count will even up on Rouches. 8-1, Newport leads it here in the 8th inning. Next pitch is swung on, fouled off the backstop, and Karam's look out in the Gulls dugout. That one bounced right in. A few players seated there, just watch it fly right by their heads. The counts worked full. Payoff pitch, swing on, ground ball bouncer on the shortstop. Diving stop by Grisham, and he'll have no play. Grisham kept that ball from going in the outfield. And a great diving stop on the edge of the outfield grass, but Chris Rouches is on at first with his first single of the ball game. That is the 13th hit allowed by Chase Reed, but he has really settled down with runners on. Just one has crossed the plate. It came back in the first inning. Pitching shutout baseball since then. From the stretch to pay off, the first pitch to Alex DeValier is missing ball one. DeValier 1 for 3. Single in the second was thrown out at the plate. That was back last week on July 23rd. Next pitch is swung on, popped up, should be playable in the infield. Who wants it? Taylor Meehan looks at it. Now Cody Grisham calls him off, comes in on the edge of the infield grass, makes the catch, and there's one out. Chris Jensen to bat now. He's 0 for 3. Struck out by Reed twice. Chase has had a strikeout in every inning except for the 6th, where you get the side in order and a pair of groundouts and a flyout. 9 Ks on the night for Reed. 2 in the 7th. He had a pair in the 4th. And 2 in the 1st as well. First pitch is in there for strike 1 to Jensen. Jensen bats just 0-83, no homers, 1 run batted in. Next pitch is in there for striking. He's down the count, 0-2. Jensen's really struggled at the plate. This is 11th start as an All-American, 13th game he's appeared in. Just 2 for 27. The pitch is high. 1-2 the count. He's batting just .007. The pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. So Chris Jensen goes down by way of the K for the 3rd time in this ball game. Chase Reed picks up strikeout number 10. He surpassed double digits for the 2nd time this season. Reed came into the game with 45 strikeouts, will now move into 2nd in the NECBL with 55. We'll face Steve Daniels, who grounds the first pitch foul on the first base side. Daniels is 3 for 4, 3 singles, a run scored. Fly to left, scored the only run of the ball game for Lowell back in the 1st inning, which was 5 days ago. Lowell has not fared so well in this ball game despite all the hits. They've left 11 on base. The pitch, foul tip to the backstop. Strike 2, and he's down the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Reed has 10 strikeouts. He'd like to have 11. Comes to the stretch at the belt. The 0-2 pitch. Swinging a foul tip around the plate area. Daniels just got a piece of that one. And the count remains 0-2. Runner at first here. 8-1 Gulls lead it. Daniels taps the plate, looks out. Reed sets. Kicks and throws. Outside, ball 1. Pat McKenna, those waiting on deck here. Reed from the stretch, the 1-2 delivery. Swinging a looping foul ball to the left side. Karam's back onto the field and is fielded by their manager, Ken Connerty. One ball, 2 strikes to count on Daniels. Chase Reed sets, kicks and throws. It's swung on and ripped to the first baseman. Wiegand bobbles it, picks it up, steps on the bag, for the out. That retires the side, 3 unassisted. All-Americans, stranded base runner. They've left 12 on 13 hits in this ball game. The Newport Gulls lead it 8-1. We go to the last of the 8th next on the ACBL Broadcast Network. We go to the last of the 8th. Last opportunity for the Newport Gulls to add to their lead. They're up by 7 runs, 8-1 over the Lowell All-Americans, trying to earn a split in this 2-game season series. Newport sends Joey Manning to the plate here. Takes the first pitch, ball 1 from Paul Toland. Gulls, despite being out-hit 13-8, lead at 8-1. All-Americans bullpen is to blame in this one. Allowed 5 consecutive walks and then a double in the 6th inning. Gulls saw 7 consecutive base runners. Costly error as well that allowed 2 runs across the plate. 2-0 the count on Manning. Had that 2 RBI double in the 6th. Now has 8 RBI on the season. Pitch is swung on, lifted down the left field line and out of play. Manning, 1 for 4 in the ball game. Game has taken 2 different nights to play. On last week on July 23rd here at Cardines Field, heavy rain inundated the field. Lightning knocked out half of our lights, so we couldn't continue play either way. 2-1 pitch. Curve is swung on, driven down the left field line, long distance, but it's going to be foul and out of play. Manning crushed that one. Ball bounces in America's Cup Avenue. A couple of fans watch how it interacts with traffic out there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count on Manning, leading off the 8th. Cody Grisham will follow. Long wait here for Toland. Now he comes set. Manning ready. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, misses ball 3. Newport Gulls in their longest homestand of the season after they just wrapped up a stretch of playing 21 games in 20 days, including the All-Star game. At their first true off day on Sunday, true off day being an off day without any game scheduled, no rainouts or anything. The 3-2 pitch misses high and inside, ball 4. As Manning jackknifes out of the way. Manning is on as the Gulls' leadoff batter. And folks, that's just the 2nd time in this ball game. Oh, check that, the 3rd time in this ball game that Newport has had their leadoff man on. They had a leadoff walk from Meehan back in the 1st inning. Because in the 6th, Cody Grisham led off the inning with a single. Now Grisham bats here. He's 2 for 2. Swings in the first pitch, pops it up, 3rd base side, and out of play. Single in the 4th, a single in the 6th. Also reached on an error, he's 2 for 3. He walked in the 2nd. Batted twice in the 6th. That error was very costly, though. For Lowell, allowed 2 runs to score. E6, only error of the ball game. 0-1 pitch, swung on and lined down the left field line, a base hit. Hitting second, heading into the 3rd is Joey Manning, and he's going to be in there standing. It's going to be a double for Cody Grisham, his 3rd hit of the ball game, and that is Cody Grisham's first extra base hit of the season. Grisham, who was out much of the season, reactivated by the Gulls 5 days ago, had his first hit since being reactivated back in the 4th inning. He's now been on base 5 times tonight. A walk, 2 singles, a double, reach on an error. He has a stolen base and a run scored to his credit as well. So, Taylor Meehan will lead off here with runners at 2nd and 3rd. The pitch. Fastball, outside corner, we'll call it strike. 9 hits now for Newport. The walks, the story of this one. 13 walks issued by All-American pitching. Next pitch is swung on a miss, strike 2. The Manchester Silkworms have arrived. They take some seats up the first baseline grandstand. Nothing into the count on Taylor, who has walked 3 times himself as he swings and misses the next pitch for strike 3. He slams the bat against the plate. Not happy with himself on that one. It's a 2nd strikeout for Toland in relief.
The designated hitter. Number 4, Mike
12th strikeout for All-American pitching. Now Mike Melillo will bat with 1 away and 2 on in scoring position. Takes first pitch, outside ball 1. Melillo has reached base twice, a walk, an RBI single. He's 1 for 4 overall, pair of strikeouts. He flied to center. Savage has fallen down to 324 coming in at the start of this one. Next pitch is swung on, grounded to the second baseman. He has it. DeValier to the first base bag in time for the out. A run crosses the plate, and it's 9-1 Newport Gulls. An RBI ground out for Mike Melillo. He drives in his 26th run of the season.
Number 6, Mike Tamsin.
4-3 on the bouncer. Now Mike Tamsin. Tamsin has a hit on the night. He's 1 for 3. He could use another hit here if he wants to keep vying for that all-time NACBL record for batting average. Came in batting .434. It's 1 for 3, a walk, 2 walks and a single. Takes the first pitch inside for ball 1. A runner at third in the form of Cody Grisham. Got a double in the inning. Paul Toland, 4th pitcher of the afternoon for Lowell, fires the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball is up and away. 2-0. Ball 3 misses up and away, and he's in danger of walking Tamsin here. Tamsin, at the moment, is batting .427. Taps the plate, looks out on Toland. 3-0. Ball 4, he walked him on 4 pitches. That's the 3rd walk issued by Tamsin of this ball game, and he'll continue to see his on-base percentage rise. It leads the league.
The left fielder, number 26.
Now we'll see Kyle Conley. Conley, rough night at the plate, 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts. Fly to center. Bad save, runners at first and third, and 2 down. Toland is allowed to run across the plate here in the 8th. First pitch to Kyle is high, ball 1. Conley, 3rd in the NACBL in RBI with 34, behind Matt Adams of Pittsfield and his teammate Alex Gregory. Pitch is fouled to the backstop. He's tied for 2nd in the ACBL in home runs. Danny Petro and Evan Chambers, both of Keene, have 7. They play in a small ballpark, of course. Kyle Conley with 7. Alex Gregory, the league lead, with 8. Pitch is breaking ball in there for strike 2. 1-2 the count on Kyle. Struck out swinging in the 1st and 3rd, looking in the 5th. He walked at the 6th. He was at the plate when the wild pitch allowed a run to score, which was at the time the go-ahead run in a 1-1 ball game. 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called inside, gets away, and Conley has a look at the umpire, now runs down to 3rd. And Conley retired on the strikeout 2-3. That one almost whirled too far away, but Conley retreats back to the dugout. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Toland, and a pitch that looked a little bit too far inside. However, the Gulls strand a runner. They get a run across and lead it 9-1. We're through 8 innings. Last chance for the All-Americans next when we come back on the ACBL Broadcast Network. Oh, we go to the 9th. Newport Gulls lead it 9-1. Matt Quinn will be the new pitcher for the Newport Gulls, so Chase Reed will not get an opportunity for a second complete game of the season. First pitch fastball is in there for strike 1 to Pat McKenna. McKenna 1 for 4, single, pair of strikeouts on the ball game. Oh, Chase Reed's night is done. He's earned a win. It will be his 4th win consecutively in 4 starts. Breaking ball is swung on and miss as a teal on the outside part of the plate. 0-2, the count on McKenna. Reed, a run on 13 hits. Just 1 walk and 10 strikeouts. 0-2 pitch misses for ball 1. McKenna, Pecora, and Rivers, the last chances for Lowell here in the 9th. 1-2 from Quinn. Curve is high. Matt Quinn, who rejoined the team, was reactivated after having to leave earlier on in the season. Gulls happy to have him back in the bullpen. They were short bullpen arms for much of the season. A 2-2 pitch, inside ball 3. Quinn at 4.97 ERA, 0-1 in 7 appearances. All in relief has pitched 12 2/3 innings, allowing 20 hits, 8 runs, 7 of them earned. He's walked 3, struck out 11. Opponents hitting .370. The pitch, a ground ball, bounced to Thompson. Fields fires to first, low, and gets away from Wiegand. Backed up by Murphy, rounding first, heading into second is McKenna. He's going to be in there safely. It's going to be an E5 charge to Thompson. So that's Thompson's 7th fielding error of the season. I'll put a runner on here in scoring position for Nick Pecora. Pecora 1 for 4, bounced into a fielder's choice, bounced to short, struck out, and singled. Came in batting .374, leading the All-Americans in batting average, no homers, and 21 RBI. Takes first pitch fastball, strike 1. Game 2 coming your way in about 2 hours. We'll be on the air at 6:05 for the pregame show. 6:35 a first pitch. The 0-1 delivery is in there for strike 2. It's 0-2 on Nick Pecora. A 9-inning contest between the Gulls and the Manchester Silkworms in Game 2 of the split doubleheader. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. A weak wave by Nick Pecora, who went around on, I think, a changeup from Quinn. His innings first out. 1 down the ninth for Kevin Rivers, who's 2 for 4. A pair of singles, a ground out, strikeout looking.
Number 9, Kevin Rivers.
Rivers bats on the left side. Makes the first pitch on the inside corner, strike 1. Matt Quinn throws from 3/4 side arm delivery. Next pitch is low. It counts even at 1-1. Next one is swung on and ripped down into right field. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Played on a hop. Heading into third. We'll go McKenna. I'll put runners at the corners. With 1 out. Kevin Rivers has his 3rd hit of the ball game.
Number 35, Tony Plagman.
Now Tony Plagman, who's 3 for 4. 3 singles. He's driven in the only run for Lowell. Came back in the first inning. Matt Quinn trying to close it out here. An 8-run lead in the 9th. Pitch. Fastball, outside corner, at the ankles for strike 1. Next pitch. Breaking ball misses inside. Count will be even at 1-1. The win here, Newport will improve to 13-5 at home. That's the best home record in the Southern Division. Pitch is skied to left field, going back Conley. In front of the wall, he has it. A high towering drive, he makes the catch for the out. Tagging and scoring from third is McKenna, and it's 9-2, Newport Gulls. An RBI sacrifice fly to left field for Plagman, who drives in his 2nd run of the ball game. That's the 2nd out for Mike Belageron. 1 for 3. Featuring an infield single. He walked, struck out, bounced into a fielder's choice to end the 7th. Takes the first pitch, strike 1, a fastball from Quinn. Pitch Jamil Acosta for Manchester, scheduled starter, and Tom Costigan for Newport. Game 2 of this doubleheader later on tonight. Next pitch is swung on a miss, strike 2, and the All-Americans are down to their last strike. Quinn checks the runner, the 0-2 delivery. Breaking ball just outside. And the crowd sighs on that call. Runner at first, 9-2 Gulls here in the 9th, 2 outs. The 1-2 pitch from Quinn. Swing and a miss, he struck him out, and this one's over. The Newport Gulls have won 3 straight as they defeat the Lowell All-Americans and split the season series against Lowell here at Cardines Field in the makeup of a game that was suspended by rain and lightning back on July 23rd. Newport wins the final score at Gulls 9, All-Americans 2. Game 2 of the doubleheader coming up in a couple of hours. But don't go away for now, folks, because our Newport Gulls post-game show is coming your way next here on the ACBL Broadcast Network. Well, much more to come. We'll have our player of the game interviews and still a lot more. So don't go away. The post-game show starts next on the ACBL Broadcast Network as the Newport Gulls win 9-2 the final. Back here now at Cardines Field, a solid victory this afternoon for the Newport Gulls in a game that they initially trailed 1-0 before it was rained out back on July 23rd. But here, 5 days later, the Gulls' offense comes alive later on in the ball game, taking advantage of quite a few walks by Lowell All-American pitching en route to a 9-2 victory over the Lowell All-Americans. Newport improves to 1-1 against Lowell this season in interdivision play and finishes the season at 3-9 against the NECBL North. John Raiola, good win here today for Newport.
Yeah, absolutely, and a good job by Chase Reed of keeping this game at least close for a while there, as it was 1-1 going into the 6th inning. All that damage done with 2 outs, the 7 runs in the 6th inning, all with 2 outs, coming off a variety of pitchers, I believe 3 for Lowell. And so what we talked about at the Open was going out and getting this big first win against Lowell, because they're not a very good team as they now move to 14-23 on the season. Not a very good team. So this is certainly a game that you should win, as the Gulls now move to a game back behind Pittsfield for first place in the Southern Division, but a game that you should win. So you got to go out there. It's early in the morning, early in the afternoon, earlier than you're accustomed to playing. Go out, give a good showing, try to win the ball game, and then now you prepare for a bit of a tougher matchup in Manchester. So big first win, and other game to follow.
Totals in this one for the visiting Lowell All-Americans: 2 runs on 14 hits, 1 ever committed, and 13 batters left on base. Lowell All-American pitching walked 15 Newport Gull batters. For the Newport Gulls, 9 runs on 9 hits, no errors, 16 stranded on base. Newport defeats Lowell 9-2 the final, as the game took 3 hours and 15 minutes to play if you factor in both this afternoon's game and when it first started 5 days ago before being rained out. It was watched by a crowd of a little over 1,000 fans if you combine both ball games as well. We don't have an official attendance report, of course, for you, but we will certainly in Game 2 as the Newport Gulls face the Manchester Silkworms when we come back later on the ACBL Broadcast Network. That's our next broadcast. Pitch Jamil Costa from Manchester, the lefty at 0-1 in the season, against Tom Costigan, the right-hander for Newport, who is 3-2. So, Newport Gulls and the Manchester Silkworms will be playing next in the ACBL Broadcast Network. We're not done here with Newport and Lowell, though. We'll be down on the field with the final word of our post-game show and our player of the game interview when we come back next. Stay tuned on the ACBL Broadcast Network. Don't go away. Welcome back here at Cardines Field. We're now joined by our Newport Gulls player of the game, starting pitcher Chase Reed. Chase, solid performance out there for you this afternoon.
Thank you. We did good. The hitting came along later in the game. We put up a lot of runs, and the defense played great.
Hitting did come late for the Newport Gulls. They did strand 16 runners on base tonight. They were out hit by Lowell, but Newport also taking advantage of 15 walks issued by Lowell All-American pitching tonight.
Yeah, the starting pitcher had some trouble finding the zone, but when he was in the zone, he was striking out a lot of our hitters, getting outs, and then getting himself out of jams for a while.
John?
And we talked a little bit before the game about the fact that this game started in the bottom of the 2nd inning. You don't see that obviously very often at all. How different did you prepare for this start? Obviously you had started the first couple innings. Was there anything different going into starting in the 3rd inning?
Well, I started it as if it was an away game because I was the second pitcher to go, so I had to get ready after their pitcher. So I just treated it like it was a brand new ball game.
And now that's 7 out of 8 wins for the Newport Gulls. You guys obviously have another game coming up. What's the feeling? Does everyone feel good as we head down the stretch here?
Everybody feels good. Our goal beginning of the year was to get to 25 wins. That assures us a spot in the playoffs and possibly home field advantage. And so we got to win 2 out of the next 3 games, and we'll get to that preseason goal.
Well, Chase, you're now perfect in 4 starts. You have 4 wins for the Newport Gulls. That must feel pretty good for you personally.
Feels pretty good. I'm just doing what I can. Defense is playing great, as I said, and we're hitting the ball great right now.
All right, Chase, congratulations on the win here in Game 1, and good luck to the team in Game 2.
Thank you.
And John and I will be back with the final word next on the ACBL Broadcast Network. Back here one final time at Cardines Field here for the first game of this day-night split doubleheader. Newport Gulls taking a 9-2 victory over the Lowell All-Americans, split the season series at 1 game apiece, improved to 3-9 in interdivision play here in the ACBL, and wrap up interdivision play for the season. Newport Gulls have now won 3 straight and improved to just 1 game back of the Pittsfield Dukes, who are playing a doubleheader of their own today. I'll keep you posted on that game in Game 2 later on this afternoon. That's our next broadcast. We'll be back on the air at 6:05 p.m. Eastern Time as the Newport Gulls get set to take on the Silkworms. Pre-game show at 6:05, first pitch at 6:35, so we hope you'll join us then. For now, let's pause and thank those who made this broadcast possible. The executive producer of Newport Gulls Baseball is Tom Lima. Our associate producer and on-site engineer, Justin DeSantis. John Rayola, we've had a solid win here today for Newport.
Yeah, it certainly was, and you got to go back to that 7-run 6th inning, and some questionable decision making by Lowell management as they opted to go with the right-handed relief pitcher. After the starter came out of the game, the right-handed relief pitcher against 3 lefties, he walked all 3 of them, and that was really the turning point of the game as the Gulls took a 4-1 lead at that point. And then they finally bring in the lefty. Joey Manning has a big double down the line that really opened the game up, gave him a 5-run lead. And good job by Chase Reed keeping him in close game. And what wasn't ideal conditions, as you're starting a game in the middle and you're starting the game earlier. So it's certainly a weird game, but Lowell, the Gulls rather beat Lowell, who they should beat, and we're able to come away with a big first win.
All right, thanks, John. And for John Rilla, I'm Nick Lima here at Cardines Field. The Newport Gulls win 9-2. The final score, Game 2 of this day-night split doubleheader coming your way next against the Manchester Silkworms on the pregame show, 6:05, first pitch at 6:35. For now, for all of us here, so long, everybody.
Will you live for that moment? One pitch, one swing. You see it in slow motion. You count every scene and keep your eye. Well, buddy, keep your eye on the dream. First base, second base, go for third, called safe. Well, home plate's 90 feet, but you could steal it in a heartbeat. Keep your eye, well, buddy, keep your eye on the dream. Every small town, red dirt, diamond's got a piece of your pride. Every crack of the bat makes you feel like a kid inside. Quarry dogs and steeple cats, twisters, gulls, swamp bats, Mainers, Dukes, and Mountaineers.